Michael Darcy. We will talk with Kent Swanson coming up at 11 o'clock. KC Sports Network, KC Laboratory Podcast. Get his thoughts on this Chiefs matchup against the Buffalo Bills. Thoughts on how the Chiefs have played the last couple of weeks since we have talked with Kent Swanson. And so we'll do that coming up at 11 o'clock. We'll talk, or hear, I should say, from the Kansas City Chiefs, Dave Tobe, Steve Spagnuolo, Matt Nagy, Chris Jones. Maybe Mike Pennell's at the podium. I don't know.
Ooh.
He was at practice yesterday in Kansas City on Tuesday night and signing officially yesterday. So we'll hear from Chris Jones, though, who has to be pretty excited. I don't think today's sleepy Chris Jones. I'd be surprised if we get sleepy Chris Jones today. I think we'll get excited, pumped, ready to go Chris Jones.
Chris Jones, if we remember 2 weeks ago when they talked, someone brought up Mike Pennell. And he goes, we got to get my brother back or my guy back or something along those lines. He's back.
He's back. So we'll hear from the Kansas City Chiefs coming up at 11:45. 1 o'clock, we'll play some sports or leisure in the 1 o'clock hour. And certainly be some more Royals World Series stuff on that as the World Series continues to go on. And the Blue Jays win, pivotal Game 5. Because when it's tied 2 games apiece, I didn't know how big the game was last night until I read Magic Johnson's tweet that with it tied 2 games apiece, the winner of that game really takes control of the series. And I thought, damn, he's right. Like, nobody's really discussing that, right? Like, nobody's even bringing that up. And now I wonder how big tonight's game is in Game 6. Like, I do wonder, I'll come up with different ideas maybe, but until Magic Johnson tells me that maybe this is a must-win for the Dodgers to extend the series, I don't know that it is or not. But yes, a pivotal Game 5 tied 2 games apiece.
This is the exact tweet.
Please.
With the series being 2-2, Game 5 is very important. Whichever team wins takes control of the series.
Thanks, Magic.
I can't tell if it's a bid or not because he does this all the time later on.
I hope I don't know what I would prefer. I don't know what I would prefer because if it's just actually him, that'd be awesome. But if it's a bit, also awesome that he's leaning into it.
He's been doing this for years. Years. He just says obvious things. One was just Austin Reeves scored 28 points and 16 assists.
It was just that.
He's just tweeting out box scores.
Thanks, Alexa. That's fine. So it was a pivotal Game 5. Game 6 coming up tomorrow night. And Gossman's on the mound. Yamamoto's on the mound. Dodgers are the favorites in that one. So it could be heading towards a Game 7, Sterling. It's just the wrong pattern of wins and losses for me and
I guess for
my bet. Don't worry. I was wrong Game 1. Game 1. And it wasn't that that's what I predicted. It was just $1 won me $200 if it was like that. I'm like, you know what? I'll throw a dart.
I didn't guess. It's what it's going to be.
It's what it's going to be. You knew that it was going to be this pattern to get to Game 7?
I didn't know that,
man.
but I did say 7 games. I did say Vladimir Guerrero Jr. World Series MVP, and again last night hitting another home run. Again, right when you think that no way he can continue this streak, this stretch,
dude,
he keeps one-upping himself.
The first pitch of the game, Davis Schneider hits the home run to lead off the game. By the way, have you seen the video from Davis's dad?
Yeah, I saw that.
Good. That's amazing, right? I don't know if anybody else is like me when watching that video. If you haven't seen it, I think John Boy Media, that's where it came across my timeline as somebody retweeted that. That tweet, I think it was actually St. John, retweeted that tweet of his dad and the video that he had from his, point of view and all his family there. I don't know if anybody else is like me watching that, but I kept looking at the person in front of him that I'm assuming is a family member. Because as Davis was walking up to the plate being introduced, he's taking a picture, right? Mm-hmm. And then he's just staring at his phone. And I'm assuming like either tweeting it out or texting or somebody. And he looks up every once in a while, then looks back down. And I'm like, I'm waiting for the first pitch. Like, is this guy actually going to see the pitch and the hit? Or is he going to hear it and look up? And then say, I'm like, what is... You clearly care about this man because you're sitting with the family. Yeah. You're related in some way or you're close to him in some way. And you have no idea. We know. But you have no idea that the first pitch of the game is going to be a tank and a home run to, attack early on, right? as they say in baseball. Ambush is the word I was looking for.
Alcides Escobar-esque is what the actual word is, I think.
Yes, Alcides balls leave the yard. You know what I mean? Anyway, so the guy kept looking down and then looking up and looking down. I'm like, look at the field. Look at the field. And then he looks up and he sees the pitch. So he does look up right before the pitch. Is like, okay, now he focuses and he sees it. And as it's hit, good on him. He starts standing up, and his dad is just amazing in hearing that. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God! Oh no! Just the storylines in the series have been fantastic. I mean, obviously we talked about Shohei yesterday a decent amount, but we also talked a couple of days ago about what this could mean for Vladdy, and if he is World Series MVP and helps lead Toronto to their first World Series in 30 years, since Joe Carter. And Joe Carter and Vladdy made roughly the same amount of money. They got paid roughly the same in the years that they won.
I'm sure, yeah.
The years that they won the World Series, the salary was roughly the same for both those guys. But the investment that they made in Vladimir Guerrero is for this. I mean, they paid him $500 million in April. There's no way you could predict that you pay that man $500 million and you're going to be hosting Game 6, up 3-2 in the World Series against the Dodgers. And there's no way you could have predicted on the day that, in fact, I want to look it up real quick because I just thought about this as we're talking, and I want to see the exact day that
Vladdy. It was like a year to the day or something like that?
No. It was in April. So I want to see what day Vladdy signed his contract. Because there's this, I know it was in April. Contract extension, Blue Jays, Google, April 9th. Oh my God. This is crazy. Do you know what happened on April 8th? So April 9th, Michael, I'll let you guess here too. April 9th, Vladdy signs his contract, 14 years, $500 million this year. Do you know what happened on April 8th of this year?
Did his dad go in the Hall of Fame?
No.
I was going to say, did he hit a home
His
run?
dad's already in the Hall of Fame, though, isn't
It's connected to last night's specific game. Last night's game specifically. April 8th this year. The year 2025 of our Lord.
Blake Snell got healthy finally.
No, of course
Was
not.
it Yasavage getting some run?
First ever professional start for Trey Yasavage in single A.
Oh, wow.
April 8th, Trey Yasavage makes his first ever professional start for single A for Dunedin, Florida, against Jupiter, Florida. And the next day, they signed Vladdy to the $500 million contract. And last night, I just thought about it because I knew that I was going back and looking, and I'm like, okay, when did he make his... Because he started in A-ball this year, and he was drafted last year. And so he makes the start on April 8th. He only goes 3 innings, walks 6 guys. This guy sucks. What a wasted draft pick last year, 20th overall. He sucks, man. 6 walks and 3 innings for low A. I mean, give me a break, guys. A college guy, too. I mean, this guy is terrible. And then they sign Vladdy to that contract. What a huge couple days for the Blue Jays. And last night, Vladdy, the third pitch of the game, after Schneider hits the first pitch of the game for a home run, Vladdy hits the third pitch of the game, down 0-1, for a home run, ambushing. And Trey Yasavage goes out there and puts on one of the best performances we've seen. I mean, it has Josh Beckett feels for an MVP for a rookie, right? Burst onto the scene like, who is this dude, right? Like, I mean, he was going to be a good pitcher, but at this level for a rookie, 39 strikeouts in the postseason so far, most ever by a rookie pitcher, passing Michael Wacha. He struck out all 9 batters last night in the lineup. He's the third pitcher in World Series history to ever do that. Randy Johnson in 2001 and Bob Gibson in 1968. And now,
pretty good company right there.
And now Trey Yasavage in 2025. But one of the coolest moments of last night was when they came back out for the bottom of the 6th. So we know bottom of the 5th, Yasavage had his 10th strikeout in the bottom of the 5th. They come back out to the bottom of the 6th inning. And it's one of the best shots that I've seen with the storylines and the coincidence and the connection that was happening at that time, and people that, saw it know exactly what I'm talking about. Savage comes out for the bottom of the 6th inning. He has struck out 10 batters in 5 innings. He is the first player. He's the first player to strike out 10 batters in 5 innings in a World Series game since Sandy Koufax, who was sitting in the front row. And they show that stat, and they slowly pan from Savage in the 6th inning over to Sandy Koufax watching. And I'm like, sports, how can you not be romantic about sports? Because sometimes they just write you. If that's a movie, you'd say this is stupid. Like, come on, Disney. All right, I know it's a Disney movie because one of the parents is dead. All right, so, but come on, that's a little too unbelievable, right? A little too unbelievable, but that guy is there rooting for the other team, and this rookie's on the mound in a Game 5 tied 2 games apiece and strikes out 10 guys in 5 innings the first time since. That guy watching right there. Like, stop it. That was one of the real cool moments, and the storylines have just been outrageous in this World Series so far. With Shohei, with Yamamoto, with the bullpen, with Will Klein throwing 4 innings and never having thrown more than an inning in his professional career. Savage doing what he did last night. Vladdy doing what he's doing. Springer not playing, and the Blue Jays still finding ways to come through. Schneider as a leadoff hitter getting made fun of, and then his sister clapping back last night on Twitter with the people that were questioning Schneider as the leadoff hitter. It's just been unbelievable.
I just love that Trey Savage has only started 3 games in the regular season for his career, and he has now 5 postseason starts.
Those 3 games are against only 2 teams. He started against the Rays, the Royals, and the Rays. And then
the Yankees, Seattle, and Dodgers.
That's right.
I mean, it's insane. It is a little bit of a feel, but even more probably impressive.
But they were down, real quick, they were down 3-2 in the ALCS to the Mariners when he went to the mound. They sent out Trey Savage for his 4th postseason start, his, 7th start of his major league career, down 3 games. No, because he started twice in this one, right? Mm-hmm. So that would have been 3 starts ago. So 5, 3, 3rd start, 6th start ever for his professional career. They're down 3 games to 2 in the ALCS. And they send out Trey Savage, a rookie. And he goes 5 2/3, 6 hits, gives up 2 runs, strikes out 7. They win the game. And it goes on to Game 7, and we know what happens in Game 7. But just, it's unbelievable what you're saying, Sterling.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of, I'm drawing a blank right now, it's horrible, of the Royals pitcher pitched in the,
Finnegan?
Finnegan, Brandon
Yeah.
Finnegan. And I hope, for Savage's sake, it's not that, where that was the pinnacle, and it's a great moment to have, but then the rest of your career
Finnegan was a cool story, but not like the dominance, right?
Yeah, and the dominance of this is just ridiculous to me. I mean, again, 3 regular season starts, and now you have 5 postseason starts, and he's had a couple ones that were, I don't want to say clunkers. He's a 3.46 postseason ERA, but he had a start in that Seattle series that he wants back. But besides that, he has been absolutely nails. I'm just blown away at the ability to not let the moment get too big. Mm-hmm. When, again, earlier this year, you were making your first start in single A.
Single A ball. It just, and same calendar year in October, you're doing that. And it's just
6 months later, you're out here.
Yeah. Whoever wins this, there's going to be, again, these are some of the best storylines that I can remember in one postseason overall, because it's been a fabulous postseason run, but also a specific World Series matchup that these storylines that we're having. And Yamamoto can go to the mound to continue that with having complete games and saying, bleep you, bullpen, I got you, all right? You don't have to worry. And also, the 18-inning game, and the Dodgers win the 18-inning game, and it's like, all right, how do you recover from that if you're the Blue Jays? Oh, I don't know. You go win the next 2 games because momentum is real in baseball. Come on. These 2 teams are playing in the World Series. There's no way either of these teams was going to lose a game and go, oh, well, I guess we're not going to show up tomorrow. No, they're World Series teams. They're tried and true, tested. They've been there all season long, and they're in this position for a reason. And the Blue Jays were down 3-2 in the ALCS to the Mariners.
Well, I think also a good point is the bullpens are still a little taxed.
Yeah.
And so Trey going out and giving you 7 innings is impressive. Blake Snell tried. He went 6 2/3.
Yeah.
And that 7th inning got him.
I'm laughing, and we'll take a break, and I want to talk some Chiefs here, but I'm laughing because you mentioned like going 7 innings, the double play in the bottom of the 7th to end the 7th inning for Trey Savage, and they show the view from second base towards the dugout with Vladdy, catching the ball to finish off the double play, and at top of the steps is Max Scherzer, who's got sunflower seeds in his right hand, sunflower seeds in his mouth, and starts like going crazy screaming with sunflower seeds coming out of his mouth. He turns around and fires the bag of sunflower seeds to the back of the dugout. For what? I mean, it was just so pumped for Savage getting the double play. He's screaming sunflower, and he turns around and just fires it against the dugout.
He's excited.
He was Mad Max and wasn't even pitching. He just started throwing stuff. Like, he was so pumped for that moment, he just started chucking stuff in the dugout for Trey Savage, and it's just... Oh, man. It's been fun. 2 teams that, I would not root for. Obviously not rooting for the Dodgers to win the World Series, but there have been some really fun storylines and some likable players, it seems, in this one.
It's root for Canada or root for L.A. It's a real catch-22.
Yeah, real opposite of Sophie's Choice. That's real, I don't pick one. I don't care. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. This was sent to me yesterday because we had the comment haters, sad fans sort of thing, and Adam Shine was one of them. And so this was sent to me yesterday of Adam Shine, who had Jim Nantz on his show. And my response to this is, Jim Nantz is doing his job. He's just completely wrong. He's doing his job. Many people will hear him and go, yeah, that's exactly right. But he is completely wrong. And we'll get into that next.
Do you want something delicious on game day? An ultra premium tequila made from 100% blue river agave from the highlands of Jalisco, Mexico.
With Kent Swanson, KC Sports Network, KC Laboratory Podcast. 11:45, we'll hear from Dave Tobe, Steve Spagnuolo, Matt Nagy, Chris Jones, and if anybody else gets to the podium. So I got this interview sent to me yesterday, and it was about this particular clip, and it was like, hey, you mentioned in your commentators that, you know, he mentioned Adam Shine. Is like, did you hear the interview that he did with Jim Nantz this morning? I said, no, hadn't heard it. And so I get sent the clip, and my reaction is that he's just doing his job, right? He's also wrong. Let's take a listen to what Jim Nantz says when asked yesterday on Adam Shine's show on Sirius XM about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
They need one another. If you look at great rivalries in sport, you know, Magic needed Bird. Jack and Arnie needed one another. Brady needed Manning and Peyton needed Tom. It goes with the territory. They bring out the best in one another. And you said something at the start of that question about, people sometimes lament, poor Josh, he can't get it done in the postseason. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's played brilliantly in those games. Those have been really epic matchups. The one back in the 22 divisional round, which was the 42-36 overtime game, is probably the best game I've ever seen. And last year was a nail biter. And again, it came down, high-scoring affair. It came down to a field goal margin in a win for Kansas City. But I just think the two are going to be linked well beyond their playing years. It always will be part of the story and part of the legacy for each one of them will be the fact that they tangled against the other. And look, they're still young enough. This has just got a lot of legs. Don't forget, I think it was 17 times that Manning and Brady met, and 4 of them were in the AFC Championship. I got to call all those AFC Championship games. I think I called the great majority of those games. I wouldn't get them all, but maybe it was 11 out of 17, 13 out of 17. So I saw that one a lot. This reminds me of that.
So that's what this week is going to be, and that's what Sunday at 3:25 on CBS is going to be. It's going to be Allen and Mahomes, the quote-unquote rivalry that's there.
Sure.
The two best quarterbacks in the NFL are also in the same conference, have also matched up 4 times in the playoffs, twice in an AFC Championship game, twice in a divisional round, once in Buffalo. And it's going to be this comparison of like these two guys. And I'm assuming that Jim Nance and CBS and that broadcast team is going to bring up those things that he brought up.
Sure.
Peyton and Brady, right? Manning and Brady, Peyton versus Tom. Magic and Bird, Arnie and Jack. So he is promoting that game, right? And he's going on different podcasts and promoting that game.
Sure.
But on this particular point, it's just wrong. Only one quarterback needs the other. Patrick doesn't need Josh Allen. But Josh Allen needs Patrick Mahomes. Because Patrick has won 3 Super Bowls. He's been to 5.
Sure.
Now, maybe Josh Allen would love to not have Patrick Mahomes around. But, like, if Josh Allen wasn't involved in these epic games, he's been on the losing end, but these epic games, then what do we really talk about with Josh Allen? Like a really, really good quarterback, right? But what happens in the postseason? Well, he does lose, but he loses while getting so much credit that it's not his fault. In fact, I think he's better than Patrick Mahomes because he lost that game.
It's
right?
not your fault.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Jim Nance, Bob Costas. It's not your fault. But to act like they need one another, they don't. Because he never brought up another player there. There's one player missing.
Joe Burrow probably, or Lamar.
No, I mean in another sport.
Oh, okay.
Said Magic and Bird, Arnie and Jack. Who did Jordan need? Jordan didn't need anybody. He was the guy. But he beat them all.
I know.
That's like saying Patrick Ewing and Jordan are rivals.
No, it was Reggie Miller and...
Okay, that's fine. Reggie Miller and Jordan were rivals.
No,
just like Magic needed Bird. Well, Reggie got him in like the regular season. Yeah, but Jordan never lost in the NBA Finals. He beat all of those teams in the Eastern Conference is what he did. He dominated those teams, and that's what made him, a lot of things, but it made him, considered the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
I do think even, and you are correct, and I also don't blame Nance for trying to pump this up because that's what you do. Even when you say Brady to an extent, Brady Manning, or you would say Brady Rodgers for a little bit, but I think Brady Manning was the main one. Tom Brady didn't need Peyton Manning.
No.
Because who kept winning all the rings? I mean, eventually Manning won a second one when he went to Denver, right? Mm-hmm. But for the longest time, you only had one. Yeah. And you're just sitting here going, I don't know if Tom Brady really has a peer. He seems to be him. And if you want to talk talent exclusive, I
Yeah.
think we might agree Peyton Manning might have been more talented, but doesn't matter. What it does come down to is when you are the quarterback of a organization and a team, you will be judged on rings. We don't judge wide receivers as much on rings, but if you're the quarterback, we're going to. So I think that we've done that, and I've maybe become a part of, I don't want to say the issue, but I've become part of that side of saying, well, yeah, Brady versus Manning or Brady versus Rodgers, when in reality, I think that's saying the same thing with Mahomes, to your point of Mahomes versus Josh. It's, well, no, Mahomes is by himself. Brady was by himself. I don't know if Manning needed Brady, but he kept him from a lot of rings.
Here's what I would point out, though, is, and we've talked about this before, obviously we know Josh Allen 0-4 in the playoffs. But when we think of Brady Manning in the postseason,
Peyton, by the way, not Eli.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Well,
that one actually is a rivalry.
Yeah. But Peyton and Brady played each other 5 times in the postseason. Allen and Mahomes have played each other 4 times in the postseason. We've talked about this before, but sometimes we forget. Michael Sterling, do you know what Manning's record against Brady was in the 5 games in the postseason?
I'll say 1-4.
In the postseason or
Playoffs. Postseason. Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, not Eli. Peyton versus
I might
Brady.
be wrong.
5
I
times.
think 3-2.
3-2. Peyton Manning had a winning record against Tom Brady in the postseason.
Huh.
So Tom Brady.
That Denver stint helped.
It did. Tom Brady, throughout the career, he's got the team success. He's winning the Super Bowls, But Peyton Manning, individual records, the yards, the touchdowns, MVP, all pros. Like, it's Peyton Manning is this guy that he's got to get himself a Super Bowl or 2 before it's over because, man, he's just a more talented quarterback than Brady. Like, Brady finds ways to win, and it's a good overall team. He's got all that team success, right? And that's where I think it differs between Manning and Brady, is that the individual success in the first, 10, 11 years of their career was all about Peyton Manning.
Sure. Same with Rodgers, by the way, too.
Right. But if you look at Mahomes and Allen, literally the only thing Allen has over Patrick Mahomes is the rushing stats. Wins, winning percentage, completion percentage, yards per attempt, air yards per attempt, yards per game, passing touchdowns, fewer interceptions, quarterback rating, all higher. Those are individual stats against Josh Allen that Mahomes has over him, where Manning had over Brady in those first 10 years or so. Josh Allen has rushing attempts, rush yards per attempt by 0.1, rushing touchdowns. Those are the 4 things that Josh Allen has over Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick's trying to catch him this year. That's why.
That's exactly right. That's what he's doing.
That's what we're
yes.
saying, yeah.
But like championships, it was Tom Brady, right? And at the end of Tom Brady's career, it was all pros and Pro Bowls and MVPs.
He almost
and things
got
like that.
better as he aged.
But the individual stuff, Patrick Mahomes, or the team stuff, Patrick Mahomes, and the awards and honors, 3 Super Bowls to none, 6 Pro Bowls to 3, 3 All Pros to 0, Mahomes to Josh Allen, 2 MVPs to 1, 1 Offensive Player of the Year to none, 5 Super Bowl trips to 0. So that's where I think Nance is wrong in terms of the Manning and Brady debate. Is Manning got him 3 out of 5 times in the postseason and had the individual success along the way, but didn't end up winning Super Bowls where, okay, Allen's got him during the regular season, and that's fine.
Can I pose this real quick to you? Because I think there's at least another aspect of this that even if you don't say, because I think we're in agreement when it comes to same conversation historically speaking, they're not there. But the games themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the games themselves.
I think if we're talking
epic.
about games in the individual games, you do need someone on the other side who can step up in that 13-second game and 42-30. I mean, you need someone because as great as Lamar's been, that, what was it, 17-10 playoff victory? No one cares. That's not a historical game. No one cares. You look at even the one that Joe Burrow beat Kansas City on. That wasn't a historical game. It was Patrick playing really bad in the second half, and Joe Burrow really didn't do much in that game either, to be honest with you. It was more of just a rock fight.
Yeah.
So I do think there's something to the individual games themselves that when Josh Allen and Patrick get together in the playoffs, a lot of times, even though Patrick wins them all, it's been incredible moments.
Three of the four have been amazing games. So you had the 13-second game. Then you had the 3-point win for the Chiefs in Buffalo and the 3-point win last year for the Chiefs in Kansas City.
Yeah, so I think there's something to the individuality of the games themselves that magic does happen. It was the same thing when it was the Rams-Chiefs game. You needed someone on the other side, and Jared Goff was that guy for that game, and we've seen him, and he's hit some highs here and there. But, like, you have to have someone who can do that because if you just blow teams out, beating the Raiders 31-0 is great.
Yeah.
We love it as Chiefs fans. Nobody's going to remember that game.
Yeah.
Raiders fans might because
you need the counter. The one part when he says they need each other. What I would offer is agreeing with part of his point. You need the counter that is landing blow for blow.
Yes.
Which then makes your play that much more historic.
Correct.
The issue is people are so tired of the Chiefs that they come away from the game saying Josh Allen's the story in a loss.
Because 13 seconds, if you played a bad team and a bad quarterback, that moment never happens.
Yeah.
That moment never happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the Chiefs would have won by 14 or whatever it would have been.
Yeah. And the annoying part about that is because 13 seconds has become this game where people's memory is the Bills should have won it. It was lucky for the Chiefs to even come away with that win. It was all about the Bills. When in reality, from 2 minutes to go in the first quarter until 2 minutes at the end of the game, the Chiefs led. From 2 minutes in the first quarter 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter to 2 minutes remaining in the game, the Bills led 7-0 in the first quarter. 7-7, 14-7, 14-14, 17-14 Chiefs, 23-14 Chiefs, 23-21 Chiefs, 26-21 Chiefs, 29-26 Bills. 33-29 Chiefs, 36-33 Bills.
It's funny in your head. You can just picture the touchdowns going through your of
but
the
in
greatness of that
But
game.
in everybody else's heads, it's the Bills dominated the game. Chiefs were lucky to be there. There's like pick sixes and fumbles or whatever. And then the 13 seconds was all on how dumb the Bills were. Like the Chiefs were the better team that day. They were the better team that night. They just had no answer for Gabe Davis. And also, Tyrann Mathieu left the game on the first drive. Tyrann Mathieu was knocked unconscious. He was the guy that Steve Spagnuolo was going to have playing the middle of the field. Where did Gabe Davis destroy the Chiefs? Middle of the field.
I still feel like that game, instead of being used as a Chiefs got lucky, should have been used as the quintessential, this is what makes the Chiefs so great.
100%.
I mean, that final drive was Patrick, Travis, and Tyreek.
Yeah.
Like, that should go down, and it does here in Chiefs lore. But, I mean, that should have been the definition of if you want a – you have Jet Ship Wasp, obviously, and there's certain plays that obviously will stand out. But as far as a sequence of how can you describe how good that Chiefs team was offensively and how well coached they are, is when you see the other side, McDermott making the wrong decision, Andy Reid making the right decision and putting the ball in your playmakers' hands. Not panicking. And, oh, by the way, I always bring this up, Harrison Butker drilling that field goal. Because if he misses that, it was, 49 yards?
Yeah, it was not a short one.
I always go back to that because I feel like that gets glossed over in the conversation of the 13-second game. But that to me is just the quintessential, if you wanted to know what that Chiefs team was like, what a play was like, what a drive was like, and how explosive they could be, and how well they could execute, that 13-second game should be used as a positive from 32 fan bases, not just one.
Chiefs had 7 more first downs in that game, 130 more total yards in that game. And the Bills scored 2 of their touchdowns on fourth down conversions. That was not a dominant Bills performance. That was the Chiefs were the better team, and the 13 seconds, them going and doing that and then winning the coin toss and scoring the touchdown in overtime just gave the result of what the game should have been along the way. But it's not viewed that way because the Bills lost, and people want to find ways to continue to push Josh Allen towards the top. And I think Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the NFL. But to act like, well, there's nothing Josh Allen could have done in any of these games. We could have not been trailing to the Chiefs throughout that entire 13-second game.
Well, it's also the Jalen Hurts conversation, that first Super Bowl that the Chiefs won.
Right, yeah.
Where it was, well, what more could he have done?
Not fumble.
Not fumble.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
one small thing, he was great. He was phenomenal. But the guy on the other side didn't make any mistakes, and that was the difference.
He was better. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and continue rolling. I do think I think the closest rival to Patrick Mahomes is not Josh Allen, and it's probably not somebody. I don't think it's somebody that people have tried to present as the rival to Patrick Mahomes. We'll do that next. Ken Swanson coming up at 11 o'clock. More Zone. You know, NBA fans, all your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. With more markets open for more of the game, DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is live when others aren't. New customers bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass, plus score $300 if your best bet wins, paid in bonus bets. So you place your bet wins, boom, $300 and 3 months of NBA League Pass. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
All right, we'll continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. We'll talk with Kent Swanson coming up at 11 o'clock. I actually think there's a quarterback in the NFL that is the closest, if you want to call it rival, to Patrick Mahomes, but I don't know that it's going to be a quarterback that people pick.
Can I guess?
I would actually love for you to pick it, because then it would be like, oh, okay, well, then yes, it is a quarterback that people would guess.
If it's not Josh, I think the only other guy you would throw, me personally, would be Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and because it's not in the conference.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, that's not a rival, because, Peyton and Brady, like, they were in the same conference. It's got to be in the same conference. But they've met in the playoffs twice, both in the Super Bowl. They're 1-1. Jalen Hurts has a winning record overall. He's 2-1 in the regular season and 1-1 in the postseason. So he's 3-2 against Mahomes overall. Mahomes, obviously, quick math makes that him 2-3. And those Super Bowls, Jalen Hurts has been right there, with Mahomes in terms of play. Whereas Mahomes and Josh Allen has raised his game, but Patrick Mahomes, in the postseason against the Bills, is just stupid how good he is. I mean, it's just crazy how good he is against specifically the Bills, not just in the postseason, but specifically against the Bills.
Even last year's best game was against the Bills.
Right. In the two Super Bowls, like, Jalen Hurts has a combined quarterback rating of 109. Mahomes is 112 in the two Super Bowls. Mahomes has 6 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. Jalen Hurts has 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Now, Jalen Hurts also has 4 touchdowns because he's pushing of tushes there. Touchdown rushes, I should say. Jalen Hurts 73% completion percentage, Mahomes 71% completion percentage.
He's been great in the Super Bowls,
right? So they've been sort of back and forth. Jalen has matched Mahomes in those particular games, and his team has won one, which matters. They're just not in the same conference.
I think it's a good comp. I think it's the best one right now, just because it looks like for the next.
But if they never play again in the postseason, then it can't be. Right?
Yeah, of course. But it does look like for the next, just say maybe 5 years, both these two teams, I'd imagine for the next 5, will be in the same conversation of probably facing off at least one more. I mean, if you tell me right now how many more times do these two teams face off in the next 5 years, I'd say at least one, which is crazy to think about when there's that many teams in the NFL.
Yeah, because you're just saying it's so hard to get to the Super Bowl as
Correct.
it is, let alone two teams getting
both
to the Super
have
Bowl.
to get there.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe even twice.
I would like the Chiefs to face off against another team in the Super Bowl.
I want the Chiefs to face them one more time and beat them, and so that way it's
this year.
You have the
You got the
3-game the series win.
Yeah, you won a best of 3, so there you go. You win 2-1 in the best of 3. It's a wild card series. You took care of business. Only this was all neutral site.
All neutral site.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see. I think again, Jim Nantz is doing his job. I got that clip sent to me. I hadn't heard it. I hadn't listened to SiriusXM Adam Shine show. I just listened to the clips of, him having to talk up the Chiefs after destroying the Chiefs for the good portion of this entire year. And Chris Jones and whoever else. I don't know. I think we'll get a happy Chris Jones. I don't think we'll get a sleepy Chris Jones. I think we get happy Chris Jones today. We're all happy because we get Kent Swanson today as well. KC Sports Network, KC Laboratory Podcast. Kent, welcome into the show. How are you, sir?
Good, and you know, I hope people know that Mike Pennell and Chris Jones, they copy kind of what you and me do whenever we run into each other at Sunday Sound Off. That's very similar to how we're greeting each other, trying to knock each other out and take out each other's feet. So
yeah, that's a little shadow boxing, right? Playing a little grab ass. It's been so long.
That's exactly what we do every time we see each other at Sound Off.
It's funny because I tweeted out that we're having you on, and I actually, because I'm going to talk to you about Allen Mahomes and if that's, Manning Brady. But then, I also tweeted and I said, is Mike Pennell, Chris Jones really Craig Stout, Kent Swanson? When he returned to the Lab podcast, like it was one of those, you're back! Look at you! It's you! It's me! Let's have some fun! Let's play around! Let's do this thing! All right, my guy's back. But I like the because we get to actually see each other in person at Sunday Sound Off. So yeah, that's a really good comparison. I didn't think about it like that, but I like it.
I did tell BJ we had to get my dog back. That's what I told BJ when we were trying to get Craig to come back and do the show again. So I mean, same energy.
You said it just like that too, because
that's very much exactly how I phrased it.
Yes, because Craig is a beast, and we know that. He lets.
Hey, he's from Wichita too. That's the funny thing. There's some more parallels here than we're thinking, Jason.
That's amazing. Kent Swanson is our guest. Let's start off with this. The performance from the Commanders, we know a tale of two halves. They do what they did in the second half after going into halftime tied 7-7. One of the things that's been talked about this week, we brought it up a couple times, and it's been discussed elsewhere, but how complete is this team and maybe the potential of being complete, this team this year compared to the previous Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs? The way the offense and defense are not only playing but complementing each other, and allowing them to have this wide margin over the last 5-6 weeks of football.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential here. I do wonder. I still have my doubts about the defense, just as far as when this team faces great quarterbacks like they're about to this week, when when they're challenged in different ways, when they need the pass rush to make a play, when they need the secondary to play consistently. Are they going to be able to do it against top echelon quarterbacks? And I think we're going to find out that this week. But this team is leading from the front offensively, and the offense puts them in a really good position to play in a game script that plays into the hands of Steve Spagnuolo and this defense. And if they can continue to operate in that style of football, I think this is the best football team in the NFL. Even though there are still some deficiencies on the defensive side of the ball, I do think that there is such a high ceiling offensively that it may not matter.
I don't remember there being, and maybe 2019 was the season, especially the second half of the year when that defense was playing at a really high level and the offense was doing what they were doing and going on a 51-7 run against the Texans and knocking off the Titans, and then the 21-0 run in the final, 6 minutes of that game in the Super Bowl against the 49ers. So maybe it's 2019, but a season where, we've watched this team evolve, Kent, from an offensive-led team, especially in 2018 where the defense isn't good enough, to then 2022 being pretty good back and forth, although, giving up all those points to the Eagles in the Super Bowl and also, having a scoop and score against Jalen Hurts, to the next couple of years being a defensive-led team and the offense being right around middle of the pack, to now we're seeing hey, can you marry those two things? Can you have a team that has the offense that we've seen in the past and the way this defense is playing right now? Is there a way to put those together? What would that look like over the course of a season? And what we're watching right now is kind of, for the last 2-3 years of saying, can you take 2022 and put that with 23 and 24's defense? I feel like we're getting a really close version of what that is, which is why, I look at it and wonder, could this be the best version when it's all said and done, when if they're in San Francisco and holding the Lombardi Trophy, if we're saying, is this actually the best Chiefs team with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback?
I think there's a chance. I do think there's a chance. And how many years, even within the conversations of these, exceptional defenses that the Chiefs have had the last couple of years, that we talked about the pass rush, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
we've said, hey man, pass rush. Chiefs need more pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have enough pass rush. We've said this multiple times, and it hasn't really come back to bid them yet, or to bite them yet in the Patrick Mahomes era. So, that definitely could be the case. I think, that back seven having so much experience with Steve Spagnuolo is such a key piece of what we're seeing here this year. Just because, I think the call sheet is pretty open for Spags, and I think that's proven to be really valuable. But I do think that there are still some tests that this defense needs to pass playing against some elite quarterbacks, because they didn't pass the test against Justin Herbert in week one. And I think there are some, I think, Josh Allen, for instance, is someone that has the unique capabilities to exploit this defense, and we're going to find out.
Yeah. It's one of the things that we'll, talk about here in just a little bit about what they'll need to do against Josh Allen and that offense, and also what this Chiefs offense can do against that defense. We joked at the beginning about Mike Pennel returning in that video of Pennel and Chris Jones. So Mike Pennel is back with the Chiefs, and this is it's an interesting player, because there are some guys that it just seems like the Chiefs know how to use. Juju Smith-Schuster with the Chiefs is a better version of himself than what he was with the Patriots, and they end up moving on from him. Tyquan Thornton, although the last couple of weeks, we saw Tyquan with nary a target in the game on Monday night, and we'll see, but he's still there, and not somebody that you just cut like the Patriots did. But Mike Pennel they bring in, and Pennell's been pretty damn good for what they ask him to do. He goes elsewhere and doesn't do much, and then returns to the Chiefs, goes elsewhere to the Bengals and plays 28 snaps the last 3 weeks, asks for his release. Granted, now he's back with the Chiefs. We'll see what he looks like. Whereas other guys, Uche can't get on the field. and can't be active. And then, the Eagles are like, we'll take him, and offering pressures. The Patriots, like he's doing his thing before he came to the Kansas City Chiefs. So there are multiple players that look different on different teams. I bring all of that up, Kent, to ask a simple question because it wouldn't be me if I didn't do that. And that is, why is it that Mike Pennel seems to thrive with the Chiefs where he feels like just a generic rotational piece at the end of the bench for these other teams that he plays on?
I think that's a great question, right? And I'm not sure that Mike Pennel was necessarily bad in Cincinnati. I think he was just unhappy. I think he wanted to get out of there, right?
Yeah.
And maybe it was just as simple as he was kind of out of, maybe he was just ready to come back to Kansas City because it really didn't seem like he was particularly interested in coming back after he was released initially.
Yeah.
But Mike Pennel in Kansas City, I think, has done a tremendous job. He has a good understanding of how to play with Chris Jones, right? And I think Mike Pennel is someone that helps make the defense right for Chris, right? Allowing Chris to get up the field a little bit more, allowing Chris to have some of that freedom to play along the interior and move around a little bit, take some chances in some gaps and try to make some of those big splash plays because he knows and trusts that Mike Pennel is going to help make him right. But Pennel is also, he's risen to the occasion in the biggest moments. I think the best game of his career was that San Francisco Super Bowl. That was an outstanding performance from him. And, you saw him being disruptive in the passing game even a little bit that game. He was an absolute force. Sometimes it's just the scenery, right? Being around this culture, being around this organization, being around these people gets the best out of certain players, like you talked about with Juju. And I think Pennel is one of those guys that he's responded well to being close to home, like we said, in Wichita and being in Kansas City. So I think it's just, for the 30% of the snaps that he's probably going to play every week, I think you're getting a good version of him and someone that can really, be a big boon for this team trying to stop the run.
Does he out-snap Derek Nottie on Sunday?
Great question. Let's go yes.
I think so. My guess is yes.
I think so. And I don't think Derek Nottie is the worst defensive tackle in football like some websites want to tell you. But I also think that the bar to clear for improving upon Derek Nottie still isn't very high. And I think Mike Pennel absolutely does that. So, I think they just throw him into the fire immediately.
Yeah, I feel like Derek Nottie a little bit like Jawan Taylor. Like when they say Jawan Taylor, when he's not picking up flags, he's a good player. I think when Derek Nottie takes off the skates and puts on cleats, I think he's a better player. And he should do that more often. But trying to play defensive tackle on skates, not a good idea. But he's much better without that. There's a theory out there, and I can't remember who it was. It might have been Sam McDowell. I think it was actually, that said part of what makes Mike Pennel a little bit different in Kansas City than in other teams is that he's only ever played next to Chris Jones in Kansas City. And when you've got that, it allows Mike Pennel just simply to be a guy that takes on blockers, stops the run, and there's so much attention paid to number 95 right next to him.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely a piece of this, right? And like again, I don't think Pennel, it's such a weird spot for any guy like Pennel, because Pennel, even in Cincinnati, wherever he was going to be, wherever he's always been, he's kind of been a rotational player, right?
Yeah, true.
This is a very niche specific spot, right? This is a very niche position. This is an early down defensive tackle. Mike Pennell's not coming in to play on passing downs anywhere. But I do think he's a guy that's figured out the best way to play and then complement Chris. And that's really what this defensive line's always been about, is trying to complement Chris Jones and trying to be as structurally sound as you can while allowing one of the best pass rushers in football to be disruptive along the interior. And I think Pennell's instincts play very well with what he's doing alongside Chris. And I think that's why you've seen him have some success here in Kansas City.
Visiting with Kent Swanson, KC Sports Network, KC Laboratory Podcast. Last one on Pennel specifically, and this team. There were some real hurt feelings when they released Mike Pennel, traded for Derek Nottie, released Mike Pennel. Understandably, that he was treated as a starter throughout the entire training camp and preseason games, and then they move on from him. That was maybe the biggest surprise cut of the entire preseason. He returns now, but did Brett Veach and the Chiefs misread the defensive tackle market? And I ask that because is Mike Pennell a guy that they would rather have second half of the season for the stretch run for a guy his age that probably isn't going to put on, the 17 game plus 3 more, 2 more, whatever it might be, workload for being a defensive tackle? Whereas the Chiefs have said, the last couple times we brought him in late and he's been part of that stretch run, maybe not he's a guy that we use throughout most of the season, middle season, and if we can bring Mike Pennell back, and they didn't think a team would that quickly put him on the 53-man roster. And they misread that.
Yeah, I think they probably did. And I'm not even entirely sure. There's been a lot of speculation about that whole saga, right? Were the Chiefs just trying to release him temporarily to bring him back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of seemed like that might be the plan, and maybe Mike Pennell wasn't a big fan of that plan and felt disrespected by the fact that they traded for Derek Nottie and then decided to cut him, feeling like they could just comfortably do whatever they want whenever they want, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a line of thinking that could seem to indicate that might have been the scenario that played out. And if that was the case, then that was a mistake because Mike Pennell was at risk of not being on this team and wasn't on this team for the first half of the season. I think the release of Mike Pennell kind of seems more like he requested to be released by the team.
That's what it seems like.
And the Bengals were like trying to save a few bucks, because that's what they like to do. So I don't know. I think there probably was a misreading of at least the situation. I don't know if it was purely from a talent perspective. I think there's enough reason to speculate that maybe it wasn't all about just on-field production performance, and there was some kind of strategic initiative there.
Yeah.
But the good news is all is remedied.
He's back.
Mike Pennell is back in Kansas City, and they have the 2 defensive tackles that I think they had intention of keeping last year.
Okay, so does this alter the trade deadline plans at all for the Chiefs?
I don't think the addition of Mike Pennell changes anything. Because, again, Mike Pennell's not a guy that's going to rush the passer, and that's okay. He's very good on early downs. So I think this is, this doesn't change their need to affect the passer. They still need someone that can help there. Last time I checked, Mike Pennell's not getting any carries yet in Kansas City.
That's a good point. Not yet. Let's not put it past him, okay? You had Minshew lining up with Patrick Mahomes there, okay? You never know who's going to put that. Yes. Kent Swanson is our guest. Speaking of lining up in the backfield and getting carries, what do you expect the workload to be like this weekend for the running backs? With Pacheco being out, Elijah Mitchell is probably going to be activated, so then you'll have Pacheco and Brashard Smith and Mitchell. Kareem Hunt, Brashard Smith and Mitchell. Is it Mitchell and Hunt then split what was Pacheco? Does Brashard Smith get more workload this weekend in Buffalo? Does Kareem Hunt keep his same role because it's that valuable? How do you think this weekend will look against the Bills at the running back spot?
I think Elijah Mitchell's in for a little bit of work. I don't think he's going to lead the rotation or anything, but I do think that he is a benefactor of the carries rather than Brashard Smith in this game. I think Kareem Hunt, you gotta manage the load for Kareem Hunt. The good news for the Chiefs is they do have a bye week next week, and that makes it a little bit easier to manage some of that ball carrying.
Yeah.
But I do think Elijah Mitchell steps in and gets some opportunities on the ground. And Brashard Smith is a fun piece. He's a fun piece to this offense. And the Chiefs give him one early token carry every single game, it seems like, to just show that, hey, we will hand the ball off.
Just because he's in there. Just because he's in there doesn't mean we're going to throw the ball. We're not going to throw it to him just because he's in there. We'll hand it to him once. It's a good call.
That's exactly because the next 3 are screens, and jet sweeps, and
It's a good call.
and that's okay. Hey, just show them that you will.
Yeah.
But I think you've seen the style of run play that you call for Brashard Smith is a little bit different than what you're trying to do with Pacheco and Hunt. And so I think the Chiefs need somebody to step in there and be able to run between the tackles more effectively and consistently. And I think, hey, look, Elijah Mitchell, this team kept him on the roster for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think he looked capable and looked like an NFL back during the preseason and the limited opportunities we saw him run. And now they've given him an extra couple of months to try to heal up and be the best version of himself. And hopefully the explosiveness and burst is back because, he does have some juice. Elijah Mitchell has always had juice. He's had a hard time staying healthy. But maybe there was always a plan to run him in the back half of the season. This could be the acquisition for the running back room that helps make them better. And I think we're going to get an idea that that's the case this week against the Bills.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thought process. I am of the mindset, and we'll see. And if the thought process is what you're saying, that Elijah Mitchell is going to be used more towards the second half to keep him fresh, keep that burst there. You've got Pacheco, hunt for short yardage. Brashard Smith, showpiece, but really a screen game guy that they really like. But Elijah Mitchell could be, all right, now this is going to be a home run hitter getting the ball in the backfield later on. If that's true, then yes, I think this is an opportunity for them to put him in the game and give him some carries. What I'm thinking and predicting is I think they're going to give the ball more to Brashard Smith. And I don't know what I would prefer. I certainly would like to see if Elijah Mitchell has some burst to him. If so, then, hey, there's another element to the game for the Chiefs. Is Brashard Smith a guy that, he's been getting the ball sporadically when he's in there, but doesn't have an opportunity to really to carry the ball 7, 8, 9 times in a game without heavy stacked boxes like they went up against when he carried the ball 14 times and it was we're handing off, even with it being the Raiders. Early in the game, part of a game plan to where let's give them the ball a couple, 3 times on a drive, a couple, 3 times in a quarter because they don't give the running back the ball 2 or 3 times on the same drive. But I wonder if, this is an element that they've sort of been building towards that, okay, we like what Brashard Smith can offer. He's in there more than Elijah Mitchell. We're giving him carries. Elijah Mitchell is an active. They started Carson Steele last year, as a rookie. More necessity, but still, Carson Steele was a rookie that they started. I think it's an opportunity either way, but my guess, Kent, and most people are on Elijah Mitchell. Most people are in agreement with you, so I know that I'm in the minority here. My guess is that I think this is an opportunity the Chiefs use to see a little bit more of Brashard Smith.
Well, and it's not that I don't think that they use him a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think they can, and I think they should because he definitely provides an element. And I was on with Cover One. They do some tremendous work. They're kind of like KC Sports Network, but in Buffalo. And we were talking. I was on the show last night, and one of the things that they worry about with the Chiefs offense is not just the vertical stretch, but the horizontal stretch that the Chiefs present. And Brashard Smith is someone that really does provide a strong horizontal stretch to defenses. And that's the way that he's been so effective when they've given him opportunities is more horizontally than, trying to run him up inside between the tackles. And so I think, I do think from a true run game perspective, I think Mitchell's the guy that benefits more. But upping the touches of Brashard Smith, I think can still be true, right? I still think that could be part of how you supplement your run game, and maybe it's not the traditional sense. It's trying to get him involved out on the edges, and so I do think that there's still opportunity for Brashard Smith to see an increase in opportunities this week. It's just a matter of what those opportunities look like and how they use them.
Do you think Ken Swanson's our guest, and let's talk about this Bills matchup here? Do you think Andy Reid changes scheme strategy a little bit based on the Bills can pressure the quarterback with their edges? Ed Oliver is now no longer in the middle of that defense, and he's more of a pass rusher than run stopper, but still he's a big body to move around in there. And the Bills ranked 31st in yards per attempt allowed in the running game. Do you think – I'm laughing while asking the question because it's Andy Reid. Do you think Andy would be more willing to lean into the running game given the Bills' ability to pressure the quarterback and their inability to stop the run, that this may be the advantage for the Chiefs, specifically in this matchup on Sunday?
Well, Jason, I want to know, how many times have we looked at a game like this and asked that question.
This is
they lean on the run game.
This is 972. I went back and counted. 972nd different time we've asked that question.
And every single time the answer is no.
It's 972. 972 for 972.
It doesn't matter if it makes sense. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just never has. And I think there's been one time the only game I can remember the Chiefs leaning on the run differently was actually against the Bills in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think his rookie year.
Yeah, 2020 COVID game.
And they just,
and it was a crazy rainy.
They kept doing it.
Yeah, it was rainy though. It was a rainy game, and it was like just hand the ball off.
That was the last time.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was during the era where everyone was playing 5-man boxes against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they were terrified of everything behind them. So,
yeah, it's true.
Is your line of thinking great? Yes, it's very sound, Jason. But I don't think Andy Reid will ever change his stripes. And maybe it's the week that we all give that up that they actually do it. But it logically makes sense. I just don't know if they're actually going to do it. And to be fair, I think I think Andy Reid looks at some of the horizontal stuff as an extension of the run game anyway.
True.
So the run-pass ratios always look a little wonky with the jet sweeps and the touch passes and the screen game. So I don't know. I don't think we're going to see the true run game exposed. I do think the quick passing game and some of that stuff will be more part of it, especially like you talk about Jalen Moore. I think part of the reason you didn't see Tyquan Thornton get down the field open is because the Chiefs maybe don't feel like they can get into their deep drop back game and try to push the ball down the field as much with Jalen Moore on the field. Not that he hasn't done a good job, but that's just a tweak that I think they've had to make with Jalen Moore being on the field.
Well, I'm just picturing Andy Reid, when they're going through the game plan and he's going, they know that we know that they can't stop the run, but with them knowing that and them then knowing that we know that, but if we know that they know that, then maybe we should switch it up because they then think we're going to run the ball. Let's pass it. Let's do it. Here we go. Pass the ball, guys. Pass it, pass it, pass it. All right, this is chess, not checkers. Those guys over there playing checkers, we're definitely going to run the ball to them. Let's pass the ball. But you know what? Every time, unlike last year where you need to run the ball because the offense is stagnant, you got to run the ball better, run the ball better. I mean, when they hand off, it make a real argument, it makes the offense worse. The way that Mahomes and this offense is rolling right now in throwing the football and using the pass game as part of the run game. Last two for you. How do they handle Josh Allen? And then I'll ask you what you think happens in the game. But spy, no spy, is it Leo? What do they do against Josh Allen?
I think it's a little bit of everything, and I think that's been one of the calling cards of the Chiefs. Is I think they keep teams guessing. I think they keep these elite quarterbacks guessing. So I mean, you're going to show pressure, and then you're going to drop out a lot. You're going to have a spy. You're going to show pressure, drop out, and spy. You're going to, I think contain rush is always a big piece of this, regardless.
Yeah.
And maybe some front side pressures to try to get him to roll to his left a little bit more and have someone ready to collect it, but. You just got to be varied, right? And this game has happened so many times over the last few years that, everyone's seen a lot, and I think both teams have always had very good, unique rush plans for each quarterback. And, I think the Chiefs will probably lean on a few of the things that they've done over the last few years, right? So, I think it's just a varied mix. The consistent through line, though, is rush contain. Pass rush contain.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a mush rush. It's a march to the quarterback, and that's going to be a challenge for Chris because that's been a challenge for him over the last few years. And he got out of his gap last season on a key down in the run game, trying to go big play hunt, and they popped a play behind him. So hopefully this team learns their lessons, and hopefully they get the most disciplined rush that they've had all season because I think they're going to need it.
Well, you know what? And Mariota, a nice little appetizer to the main course of Josh Allen as a guy who can run the football and does some of those things. But Josh Allen obviously is going to offer more of that playmaking and then with the arm as well. What do you think happens on Sunday, Kent?
I think the Chiefs are winning. I really do. I think this game's a little different than the ones it's been in the past because I'm not going to say I know that the broadcast rights holders make this game a big deal, but I think both fan bases and historically have kind of looked at it like, well, this is a nice game, it's a fun game, but it doesn't really matter because it's not the playoffs. I think this game means a little something more to both of these teams because of how they're trying to position themselves for the postseason. I think the loser of this game is out of contention for the 1 seed. So I think one of these teams really needs to, I think both these teams are going to come with that kind of energy. And I think the Chiefs are treating this a little bit differently than they have in the past, and I think they win this game. I'm going to go, I on the spot picked 28-24 last night. I'm going to go 28-24 again. I don't think it's a one-play game. I don't think this is one of those games where it's down to the last play and one of the quarterbacks not or making a play. I think it's a comfortable Chiefs controlled game for the vast majority of it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. That's how I see it happening as well. We'll find out. Kent Swanson, KC Sports Network, KC Laboratory Podcast. Kent, cannot wait to see you again on Sunday Sound Off so we can Mike Pennell, Chris Jones, and Shadowbox and have a little fun there, just joking around with each other, just guys being dudes.
We'll get video next time. We'll
Yes.
get a candid video.
I hope so. If not, then what's the point? Kent, you're the man, brother. Appreciate it. Get back to Costco.
I'm in.
There's Kent Swanson, 28-24. He's got the Chiefs winning in Buffalo, and not one of those crazy last-minute things, sort of a comfortable maybe 28-24, maybe 28-17, and they score a touchdown late. I don't know. I'm not putting words in Kent's mouth. I'm just saying maybe that's something that would be a comfortable win that still has a 4-point differential there at the end. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We will continue rolling. Should also point out the Chiefs killer, Josh Palmer. You know, that guy that for the Chargers that always kills the Chiefs, that it's like, oh, good God, he signed with the Bills. Now he's been out for a couple of weeks and still not practicing. So Chiefs killer maybe not having the ability to kill the Chiefs. Although another Charger that hardly ever plays against the Chiefs, Joey Bosa, is going to play. So there you go. It's a nice little exchange for them. No Palmer, but you get Bosa. I'll take that exchange. More so next.
Put your hands in the air and wave them around like you just don't care. But guess what? I care, and you should too, because FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, we are getting close. You'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams in all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's tons of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet on everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. Plus, with live betting, you can even pick which player will score the next touchdown and the one after that. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to download the app. FanDuel, play your game. So, I'm here on the Kansas side. I already have FanDuel. I love it because it's the easiest, most simple app, in my opinion, for a non-technologically guy. I'm not savvy at all, man.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. We will head out to Arrowhead Stadium here in just a little bit. Quick segment here. Went a little long with Kent Swanson. That's what happens, you know. He had some time outside of Costco that he had to spend, so that's why we went a little longer with him. Typically, it's like he's got to get back in and shop. But today we were able to do that. Quick update on some of the injury reports from yesterday. We talked about Joshua Palmer still missing games, missing practice. Gabe Davis was activated from the practice squad yesterday for the Bills. So they're like, we got our Chiefs guy back. We got the Chiefs killer. We thought we got Palmer, the Chiefs killer, but he's hurt. Let's bring Gabe Davis up from the practice squad. They also got good news on defense because Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano returned to practice, full practices.
Those are big.
Yeah, neither of them played last week. Bernard was active, but in an emergency situation, so he did not play. They didn't need him against the Panthers. And Milano's missed a few weeks with that pec injury, so they returned. But Daquan Jones, who has missed the last 2 games plus the bye week with his calf injury, also didn't practice. So there was thought around the calf that it's like he's not going to go on IR because they don't expect him to miss that many games with the bye week. Potentially he should be back for the Chiefs game, and maybe that was sort of the target to be back for the Chiefs game. Today's going to be interesting because if he doesn't offer at least a limited participant at some point, probably today, if it's back-to-back, did not practice Wednesday, Thursday, and even if it's limited on Friday, how much is he going to participate and play in the game on Sunday? And Daquan Jones is a guy who plays like 56, 60% of the snaps when they've played the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like he's a guy that him and Ed Oliver have just been in there. So if he doesn't play, that means more playing time for Deion Walker like it's been the last couple of weeks. But now you take away Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones. Those are the guys that played roughly 70% of the snaps. Because Daquan's – so probably 50% of the snaps, those guys were on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
I'd say because Ed Oliver plays many more snaps than Daquan does because Daquan is more of your run stopper that's in there. But if he's out and Ed Oliver are out, you're talking about backup defensive linemen, defensive tackles that are in there. But they are getting 2 linebackers back that will help them in that run game. So it's a mixed bag, I guess.
Matt Milano was huge, though. Matt Milano was such a talented player. He has been very injured, so I think some of the accolades obviously will be lacking. But when you look at just strict production and talent, he is a little bit like Drew Tranquill, but also with the mindset of Nick Bolton. It's like he's the combo Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquill for this Bills linebacker core and defense. So if they get Matt Milano back, that is massive for them.
Terrell Bernard also helps. But, Milano is a guy that they signed with the contract, and he just has battled injuries.
It really is a Drew Tranquill, Nick Bolton combo.
Yeah.
That's like he's the mental of Bolton with the kind of play style more of a Drew.
Because what would the Chiefs be if it was Leo and Bassa out there instead of Bolton and Drew Tranquill? Like right now.
That'd be a huge difference.
Yeah, this is it's going to be a little difficult for them to make sure that everybody's going to be in the right spot because of what Bolton does and because of what Drew Tranquill does. So let's take a timeout. We'll come back on the other side. We'll head out to Arrowhead Stadium. We'll hear from the coordinators and Chris Jones. More Zone next. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, hearing from the Kansas City Chiefs. It'll be Dave Tobe, it'll be Steve Spagnuolo, it'll be Matt Nagy, and it'll be Chris Jones. And I believe Dave Tobe at the podium there. Let's head out and hear from Dave Tobe.
Later on, we did, yeah. I mean, we knew going in that, like I said, going into the game that they're number one on kickoff return, and then they didn't let us down on the first one. They had a big one there, and then we kicked to them again, and they got one out to the 35, and then we kicked to them again, and the ball went out of bounds at the 1. Great kick by Butker, so that was a plus. But then the next time we kicked off, we're up by 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns or whatever it was, and then we just said, let's just kick the touchback here, and you got to respect teams that are hitting it on kick return. They were, and we're going to keep getting better as we go.
What's the frustration with the penalty?
It's it was bad. In a return game, we had 3 penalties. We had the penalties a couple weeks ago, and then we didn't have the penalties, and then we had the penalties again. So it's a sign of a young group. We got to keep working. We're working hard. We're trying to finish people, and we just got to learn, at the point of attack, when to finish and when to let off, and that's when the penalties come, is right at the point of attack. And I'm not mad at the how hard and the effort that the guys are giving, and we want to keep that going. But at the same time, you got to be smart. So we got to keep working.
How much does the wind stand out in this particular stadium in Buffalo?
It's every time we go, it's windy, it's rainy. It seems like every time. It's kind of weird that way. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the weather. I don't know what we're going to get, but it's always a factor. It seems like every time.
For your young players in those situations where you've had a couple calls and not had a couple calls, how hard is it to figure out what they're supposed to be doing? And are there different refereeing crews that call it differently, or if you're at the point of attack?
I'm not going to go there. I mean, it's just. I mean, when you go back and watch the tape, you see the penalty. You see what they saw. It wasn't like, these calls are coming out of nowhere. I see what they're doing. I mean, I see what they see. And then you could coach off it. You could see where you could have did a better job, and that's all you keep doing. You keep pounding it, and we'll keep getting better at it.
Is it easier to hold maybe with this new kickoff than maybe the old one used to be?
There's holding on every return. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, there's holding on every return. I mean, you can go watch it. You'll see it. It's just a matter of how blatant it is, and that's really what it comes down to.
How much are you trying to get across to the guys in the meeting rooms that you're negating a lot of what Nico has trying to do in terms of getting positive yards?
We're better than what we are playing right now. I mean, because we're not getting those returns, on the board, and when we do, we're going to be where we should be, and we're just not there yet.
Couple more.
Did the kick that Harrison on the new?
No, he was trying to kick directionally. He showed a left kick, and we got the returners a little out of position, and it was a great kick. I mean, because anytime you have to run for it towards the sideline without being a kick out of bounds, I mean, that's a perfect setup. And it bounced off his shoulder, and then once he touched the ball, it doesn't matter now. It's the fact that it went out of bounds was a plus. That went out at the 1, because if he muffed it and then it went into the end zone, and then he downed it, it would have been out the 20. So, we got a good bounce there.
We've talked about some of the dead kicks or whatever they're calling that. Some other people doing. Is Harrison working on anything?
Oh yeah. He does that a lot. He practices a lot. But it's kind of nerve-wracking in a game to really stress get it outside the red line, which is only 5 yards from the sideline. I mean, you gotta aim at the numbers, and then have your margin of error in between, plus or minus, outside the numbers. That's what you're shooting for. In practice, I mean, with no pressure, he could dart him in there pretty good. But to do it in a game, that's all of a sudden you get one out of bounds, like we had in a game, and then then you're looking like, why are you doing that? So
last Sunday, when you knew that one of your family members was going to be on the losing side, how did the rest of your family handle that?
Was, I felt bad for him. I mean, he's 32 years old. He's a grown man, but he put a lot into that game. I know that. and then, he was really wanting to come out the other end of it. And it went our way, and then you feel bad. You're hugging him at the end, and he's kind of down. You know exactly how he feels, and it's but I'm just proud of where he's at right now, and we're both so fortunate to do what we do.
Last one's after. Hey, Dave, Matt Ariza began his career at Buffalo. Can you speak to what he does for you since he came here?
Yeah, you just reminded me about that. I mean, the last time we played Buffalo, he ran down. I don't know if you guys remember. He ran down there and made a tackle. I mean, he was like a nut. I'm gonna make sure he pulls back a little bit, but yeah, it's special anytime you go back. I mean, they drafted him, and I know he's gonna have some added pressure to do a great job. You got to keep your head on straight. So, I mean, once you reminded me, I forgot what your question was, but I mean, I know Matt. It's going to be a big game for Matt.
What has he done since he arrived in Kansas City?
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's gotten a lot better. I mean, he's better with pooch punts. Obviously, you see that happening now. His directional, he can go right and left. Where before it was just really kind of one-dimensional, one way. Now, and he's doing a good job. I mean, we're not, we don't punt first. I mean, we haven't punted in the first quarter, second quarter, third, everything until the fourth quarter. So it's kind of special that he can stay ready, just kicking balls to a net basically, and then coming in off the bench cold and going out and giving us a good punt. And he's done that the last couple of weeks. So he's gotten a lot better.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Thanks. All right, there's Dave Tobe, and obviously a lot of talk about the penalties there on special teams, saying that they were bad, had 3 penalties. It's a sign of a young group. Cochran isn't young. Also, Chris Rowland Wallace had one of the penalties, and he's been on special teams a couple of years. And then the last one was Bassa. So Bassa, I can understand, is a sign of a young player with the block below the waist, but Cochran's holding penalties, that's not a young player. He's been on special teams for a while. Here is Steve Spagnuolo.
All right, I'm ready to go. Fire away. Sun's out.
What's the most difficult part of that for Josh?
Yeah, listen, I'm not sure. I was saying this morning because we're always talking about pass rush lane integrity. There are snaps on here where you can be perfect with that, and he still finds a way to get out. So hopefully the number of those snaps are minimal, and we can find a way either to get him to rush his throw, or if he does decide to scramble, get enough guys around there that the gain he has is minimal. But I think we can be perfect sometimes at what we're doing up front with all of that, even with 5 guys. I see it with 5, people commit 5 rushers, and he has just a real keen sense of finding that little seam. And if he gets past the 4 or 5 that you're bringing, now it's out, and that's where he's really dangerous.
How difficult is it to make the decision about whether you spy him or not spy him in certain situations?
Yeah, you got them all. You got, do you rush 4 and one of them's a spy? Do you turn 4 loose? Do you coordinate the pass rush? Do you go 5 rushes? Because there's technically 5 gaps there, rush lanes. I mean, in the past, and most teams do the same thing, you got to mix it up. We're not going to sit in one thing. But we're going to have a little bit of everything. Now, all that's great, but the only time you get to use all that is if you can get them in those down and distances. What I think they're doing a really good job of is dictating the game with their run game and the play action, and they're staying on schedule. There's not a lot of 3rd and 10s or 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 9s, and it's because they're really good on 1st and 2nd down.
Steve, when you look back at the first half of the Commanders game compared to the second half, it seemed like in that first half there were a few plays when running backs get loose, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that miscommunication stuff that you guys cleaned up in the second half? What do you attribute that to?
You talking about the runs? I'm trying to.
No, I'm talking about running backs catching the ball.
There was one I remember that was just a missed assignment. There was one in there that was a linebacker safety communication thing. Those are 2 that stick out, but that's all it takes is 2. And if there's 1 in each drive, they're down there. But they moved the ball pretty well. Where our guys did a nice job was in those critical situational downs. Those 4th down stops were huge. And then we kind of found our groove a little bit in the second half.
Has there been a thing where you found the groove in the second half?
Yeah, I'm going to credit the coaches that go in there and at halftime, and we decide for a quick 2-3 minutes of what minimal changes we want to make, or what are they doing to us, what did they decide they were going to do, and the guys feed it to the players, and then a credit to the players that they take it and ride with it in the second half.
On that front, the game's changed. I mean, from when you got into, the 85 Bears, you could hold the team to 87 total yards and 3 points. Like the idea of a shutout, I know you guys just got one, but it's kind of gone. It's like a little more basketball in your defense. You want to play it, but you have to acknowledge you're going to get beat because the offense is.
They'll hit a couple of hoops.
Yeah, so
sink a couple.
So has that have you had to change your philosophy? Like, was it like when you got into the game? Was it the Bill Cowers of the world wanted 0 points?
Yeah.
Right? Now you got to acknowledge we're going to give up something, but.
There's a little bit of that. I mean, we have an objective chart unit-wise. Each game, the first one is win the game. The second one is points allowed. And then I think there's 9 or 10 categories that we researched that had the most to do with limiting points. And when we first started doing this years ago, when I was with Jim Johnson, the points allowed goal was 17. You felt like if you could keep a team under 17, you could win. I think the figure was like 85 or 88% or something. I'm not so sure that's changed now. That might be more in the 19. I haven't done the full research lately. Now, we've kept it at 17 as a goal because I just refuse to change it. I give up more points. But I think that your point is, it's really hard to get a shutout in this league or 10 points. I mean, it's really hard because teams got real effective weapons. We know the rules have all changed a little bit. Kickoff where they get the ball a lot. So yeah, it doesn't happen very often. It certainly always would be nice to get. To me, I always want to have one less point than they got. Now I don't want it to be 45-44, but that is the goal.
Is it required to be more of a counterpuncher?
A little bit. I mean, we are always kind of. When the game's in the balance, I always say to the guys, when the game's in the balance, now it's just go out and stop every series and get the ball back to Patrick with the same score that we got it. Now, if it gets out of, then you change a little bit. Because to me, like last week's game, when it got to 2 possessions, we wanted to find a way to get the ball back to Patrick so he could get it to 3 possessions. That was the goal. So I guess not much has changed. You're not wanting to score, but I think a 3-possession game in the fourth quarter might change the way I call it. But until you get to that point, it probably doesn't.
How quickly can Mike Pennell make an impact?
Well, the good thing about Mike is he was here before in this season, so I think it's probably an easier transition for him than going someplace else. So we're glad we got him. I mean, Mike's a fun guy to have around and a good football player, so we're happy about that.
Last 3, we'll start with Blake.
Steve, you referred earlier to the 4th down success the other night. It's been that way all season. I think that's leave the NFL in 4th down defense.
Do we have to talk about that? Do we have to bring that? Because this team we're getting ready to play is really good at converting 4th down. Yeah.
As I recall. But what kind of key, what are some of the elements that go into being a successful defense?
I would put that right back on the players because our guys do a really good job of being on point. They recognize the situation. We talk about 4th down on Tuesday. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We do that on Tuesday in our first meeting when we segue to the next team. And we research it, and the guys do a great job. Rod Wilson's involved in that, and no matter what you call, the guys got to execute it, and our guys have done a pretty good job of that.
Make you knock wood again. You guys have done a nice job against some really good running backs. You got another
Killing
one this
us,
week.
you're killing me.
What are the keys to trying to contain Cook?
Yeah, this is a real dynamic runner. We've faced a bunch of them already this season. This guy might be the tops of the crew. I think he's really. I'm always impressed with running backs that can make the jump cut. You know what I mean? At the line, behind the line of scrimmage, and you go, and he can do that. And he really. I showed 3 of them this morning. He can capture that edge. He can convince an edge defender he's going inside, and boom, get outside on him, and that's where he's really dangerous because he's got really good speed. He can do it all. I mean, he's going to look to cut back on us. It looks to me like they really are trying to feature their run game, and they're doing a really good job of it.
Bill, with the Bills' passing offense, what kind of stood out to you on tape about them?
It's always about Josh and the way he extends it down. And look, I think this wide receiver group has been with him long enough that they know exactly what he's going to do. They find ways of getting open. I was watching the Baltimore game, and it was at the end of the half, and Josh extends it. There's very limited time, and number 10 finds a way to get in between two Baltimore defenders, and boom, right there they found a way to get 3 points at the end of the half. It's things like that they create all kinds of issues. No more talk about those other things that you guys brought up.
Yeah, they are. Chiefs have been pretty good on fourth down so far this year with a number of different teams that they've been playing. But yes, 2 big fourth downs last year. The 4th down and 2 Josh Allen touchdown run in Buffalo, and the 4th down and 1 Josh Allen attempted quarterback sneak that was spotted short. Replay review, call, stands, Chiefs football, and that was when the Bills had the lead. Right? The Bills were up 29. They were up 22-21 when they got stopped on 4th and 1. So, some big fourth down plays over the course of these matchups with these two teams last year, 2 of the biggest ones, with it being 4th and 2. And then that 4th down throw to Dalton Kincaid at the end of the game that was dropped by Kincaid. Also a pretty tough play for him to make.
Yeah.
And Allen being hit by Karlaftis, and the Chiefs with that 3-point lead when that took place on 4th down and 5. So, yes, they have gone up against some 4th downs, and this is a damn good team, the Bills, that are able to convert a number of 4th downs. But you know what? This is the NFL, man. I mean, it seems like every week we're talking about teams that go for it on 4th down. It's like the Eagles. Well, this is a team that really likes to go for it on 4th down. I mean, it's 1st and 9 for the Eagles, right? And then the Ravens, this is a team that really likes to go for it on 4th down. Like the Ravens and John Harbaugh, they go for it a lot on 4th down. They got the Lions, and Dan Campbell is a guy that is aggressive, and they go for it on 4th down. Dan Quinn is perfectly fine being an aggressive coach that goes for it on 4th down. Like, this is every single week in the NFL. This is what it is now. So
I do think part of it is with the new kickoff rule. When
yes.
A lot of times if it's a touchback, it's at the 35 versus the 25.
Yeah.
Or even the 20, when it used to be the old kickoff, the old touchback. So I think with the ball going out farther, teams are like, well, I'm going to be more aggressive, because if teams are starting at the 35, a lot of times, you get 2 first downs, you're in field goal range with the way kickers are these days.
Right.
So you're sitting here going, well, I guess we should be more aggressive.
Well, and 4th down and 3 for the Chiefs, 4th and goal from the 3, like, well, if you don't pick it up, okay, you lose 3 points, but you have potentially gained 32 yards of field position. And that's if it's just kicked to the back of the end zone. With the Commanders being one of the better return teams, they were, aside from the fumbled kickoff, which was huge, they got it out to the 42 and the 36. So they were getting it past us. So you're gaining even more yards by just putting 3 points on the board, to where, okay, you put 3 points on the board, you kick it off to them, they get it at the 40, and they get 2 first downs, they put 3 points on the board. And now you've just equaled each other out, as opposed to what you gain by getting the 7 and then giving the ball at the 35. As
Or
opposed to
getting
losing the
stopped
3,
at the 3
and giving the ball to 3, and you gain 32 yards of field position.
Yeah, and they have to get 3 extra first downs.
Yeah.
Now you have to get, probably 5-ish first downs to get in field goal range, barring big plays, of course.
Yeah.
No, again, I do think teams are going to be more aggressive with the new kickoff rule, just maybe one of the unintended consequences of it, and it's not a bad thing.
No.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it makes it more fun, more enjoyable, and it's making Andy Reid more aggressive, which, again, if you're Kansas City, I think an aggressive Andy Reid is an advantageous Andy Reid for your team.
Well, and the Chiefs, to me, have a pretty decent advantage, and we'll talk about that advantage in a little bit. Here's Matt Nagy.
Coach Nagy, about a month ago, you told us and everyone Juwan Taylor's penalties must stop. Looks like he took that message to heart.
Yeah, that's a credit to him. He's done a good job with that. We had to have that happen. He was playing really well. He's continuing to play well, but the penalties was what the black eye was for all of us to see in him. And he's such a great kid. He cares. He's a professional, and he took it to heart. And that's a credit to him to being able to be a true professional in that moment and help make us better by eliminating something. So credit to him.
The running back situation, if Isaiah can't go, does everybody just kind of bump up? Do you put more on Kareem? How do you handle that?
I think so. I think we'll kind of play that by ear, see how it goes health-wise with Pops, and let the beauty of our team, the depth that we have guys that are there, guys that can practice, guys that are ready. So just leave that. Tell the guys, everybody be ready. When the time comes that we know what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, we'll have a plan. And I think that's the guys that are in that room, we trust in all of them. And then when the time comes, we just go ahead and roll with those guys.
I know you probably don't listen to the outside noise, but everybody, trade deadline, so everyone wants to talk about players and everyone wants to put a running back with you guys, but you're already over 1,000 yards, through 8 games. Do you get a little underrated in how you guys run the ball this year?
Probably. I mean, I really like where we're at right now. I love our guys in that room. I like the identity that we have as an offense, and that's above my pay grade with how that stuff rolls and what we do. But I just know that where we stand right now, we're very, very pleased with what we have.
Now, what of your touchdowns came on non-first read plays, but also when Patrick is scrambling on some of those and what impresses you about the way he's just able to keep his eyes down the field in those spots?
Well, for him, it's something he's always been good at. He's done it quite a bit in his career, and now I think it's the new guys that we have in this room, some of the newer players, making sure that they understand at all times you stay alive. We had a couple plays last week where, like you said, number 1 wasn't there. Number 2 sometimes wasn't there. One of his greatest strengths is being outside the pocket, and it goes back to college at Texas Tech. He was the same way. He was a major weapon outside the pocket. So now the other guys are taking advantage of that, and we're scoring some touchdowns from it. We got a big play last week from Kels as well.
Matt, when you watch this defense on tape, what is unique about them from some of the other defenses you've played?
The idea that they all play, they play within Coach McDermott and Coach Babbich's scheme that they have. They play it fast. They play it well. They do a good job. It's always a hostile environment. They're in Buffalo. They feed off of that with the crowd noise. So we want to make sure that with silent count we're good there. So part of that is being no self-inflicting wounds with penalties, pre-snap penalties. Schematically, they do a lot. They do a really good job in their zones, and then when they play man, they're super physical. They're sticky. They make you be good with releases. They make you win at the top of routes. And then they have good ball skills. So you kind of put all that together with an offense that's scoring points, and it makes it tough.
With Jalen now having those 3 games under his belt, maybe the watching the game might have been his most difficult one. What have you seen from him so far, and what's the kind of guide to him, or at least you're grading out on him right now?
Consistency. The moment's never too big. I go back to when we had that, right before the one game when everything went down with him having to go in there last minute. He never flinched. He never blinked. He came out in that game, and he's kept it consistent this whole time. There's a couple things here or there, but with him, I'm just really proud of how he's handled the moment. He just wants to do his job. He wants to do his part, and I think to me that jumps out to somebody that doesn't look for it. He just comes in every day. He's a true pro, and he's doing well with it.
When Josh comes back, is it automatic that he steps into that job, or has Jalen made that a competition?
We haven't, that's, again, something that I have not even come across. That's with Coach and Veach. When that time comes, Josh is playing well too. So that the part that you like is that you got guys that are playing well, and then we just kind of work through all that other stuff.
What does it say about your offense that you're one of 2 NFL teams that hasn't had a 100-yard rusher and a 100-yard receiver? What does it say about you?
Really? That'd be for the fantasy people. You could ask them and see what they think. We like where we're at right now. The guys don't care about the stats. I mean, you look. I don't know the numbers, but the way that we're distributing the football right now to players, what they're doing, it's everybody has a part in this, and nobody really cares about the numbers. We want to be efficient. I think we look at touchdown drives. We look at scoring drives. Be great situationally, red zone, 3rd down, short yardage, 4th down. We're doing that right now. So all that other stuff is for everybody else.
How much fun has this been? I mean, you guys work hard every week, but to have the payoff this season, the way this offense is looking.
This has been a lot of fun. Just for me, the experiences that I've had in my career as a coach, this is up there at the top. The guys, and it's not, our record is our record. We've come together here after those first couple games, but the people that are doing it in this building together, it's everybody. And it makes you feel good when you drive in here to work every morning and you're excited about the moment to be with the guys, but you're not satisfied. And I think that's what's so powerful about this culture that we have right now is that we're doing it, and we're making sure that we're doing it together. No, there's not one selfish person on this team or coach. And when you win defensively, special teams, offense, coaches, the support, the fans, the city, like it's awesome. That's why we do what we do. So from the offensive side, I haven't really been a part of this before. It's a bunch of good guys playing good football.
You guys have been pretty aggressive on fourth down. Maybe not as aggressive sometimes on the road. How much is that a factor? Like where you're playing, you're going to be in front of a raucous crowd. You get a little...
Nah, man. I like what you just said with the aggressive. Man, yeah, you just used it twice in there. We got to keep that going. So making sure we're aggressive is important. And I know we've talked about it all the time. We talk about it internally, but we have to stay that way. And if you don't get it, that's okay. At least everybody knows this is how we're going to do it, and we're going to go down this way. And then when you do get it, it's just contagious. So we want to keep that going. That's the positivity and the power of speaking it into existence.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, there's Matt Nagy, and they get ready for what is a Buffalo Bills team that, when they've played them in the regular season, they've been pretty damn good, and it is a hostile environment they'll be walking into. Played in it last year. They were undefeated when they went to Buffalo, lost that game, and, the Bills made more plays than the Chiefs did. Certainly offensively, the Chiefs had some different opportunities they didn't take advantage of, but down by 2 there late in that game, and the Bills convert that fourth down for a touchdown, and the Chiefs down by 9 at that point, and that's the final in that particular game. But, they have the test. And running back, he said, health-wise with Pacheco, just see how it goes, but they've got the guys ready, play it by ear, see who's going to be out there playing, and they'll, find some sort of a role for those guys depending on the health of Pacheco. But it is interesting, though, that no 100-yard running back or wide receiver this year. Like, the offense is that good, and they have not had one player.
Couple 99s.
Yep. Hollywood and Kelsey, 99 yards. Don't worry, they're both on my fantasy team. I didn't need the one more yard for each of them. I actually didn't. It's fine. Do we think it's going to be a little bit before Chris Jones? Maybe, probably, typically is. Let's go ahead and take a timeout. I think we have some time between now and when Chris Jones will get to the podium. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll hear from Chris Jones, whose friend is back. More Zone next. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. We've heard from Dave Tobe, Steve Spagnuolo, and Matt Nagy. Let's hear from Chris Jones.
How are you doing?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Body is getting there, healthy.
You happy that Mike Pennell's back?
I'm super excited, man. That's how the universe works, man. You got to put it out there, put the energy out there, and eventually it comes back full circle.
What's the best part about having him back in the room?
Man, Mike, he brings a veteran presence. Good for the locker room. Great guy. Like one of my brothers. A lot of good things I could say about him. Just bring positive energy. I think that's something, goes underrated in a football locker room. A good high energy guy that keeps everyone fun, happy, but also makes you remind the importance of how old and how gracious this game is.
The Bills' regular season in Buffalo, how much have you kind of grown to look forward to this matchup?
This is one of those matchups where this game could be a huge deciding factor of seeding for playoff. And it's always an exciting, competitive game, especially when you play a guy like Josh Allen, who can do so many things well, who's big, who's physical, but also fast. Also have a big arm that can make any throw, and he makes the guys around him better. So we know it's going to be a competitive matchup, and we always look forward to the challenge.
Steve mentioned something just about how difficult, even if you do stay in your rushing lanes against Josh Allen, that he still can make something happen. Just wondered if you could speak to the player, just the difficulty in the moment of that.
Yeah, because Josh Allen is big enough where he can break tackles, but he also fast enough where he can slither through. So been very, very, disciplined on your rush lanes and more so closing the pocket on him. I don't think there's a way of stopping Josh Allen, but there's definitely ways that we can find to slow him down or be effective towards him and getting an advantage on their offense.
Assuming that you stayed in contact with Pennell after training camp, how do you think he handled the disappointment of that?
Unfortunately, our contact kind of died off a little bit. Every now and then we'll contact each other. It's difficult when you're in the season and you're in the midst of things. And he's playing for a different team. I'm playing for the Chiefs. And, the day-to-day contact we have now is very easy because we're in the same position room. Our lockers are close by. So we're kind of forced to establish communication. When someone goes away, like a guy like Colin Sanders, every now and then we're able to talk, but as in the effective communication that we had while he was in the building kind of died off.
What was the level of your disappointment when you learned of that at that time?
I was very disappointed, but I understand that, Veach always has a plan, and luckily we was able to bring my guy back.
Chris, we're all dying to know, since that Raiders game, did you ever get pasta?
I did get pasta. I did get pasta. Maria Spags, she's an amazing cook. Oh my God, if you guys ever had the chance or the opportunity to taste her homemade sauce, her gravy, because Italian is not sauce, it's gravy. If you ever have the opportunity to taste her gravy, OMG, she's serious in the kitchen. So I've been very nice to Spags lately. Me and him has been on one accord. My profanity have completely stopped, and I hope I continue to receive pasta.
Chris, when you think of those big game moments against Buffalo over the years, is there one that still fuels you heading into the matchup this weekend?
I think there's a lot of moments that we've created amongst the competitive game of against Buffalo, especially like we can go back to the 13-13 game where I sort of had doubt that I don't know if we're going to be able to get this in 13 seconds. We was being able to make it happen. Go back to a game in Buffalo where the field goal kicker missed the kick. It's a lot of moments like that. That's what makes this game so interesting because anytime we play Buffalo, we know it's going to be an exciting, competitive game until the end of the game. And that could be the deciding factor for the winner of the game, the last 2 minutes of the game. So we know it's going to be a high competitive spirit game, and it's a huge deciding factor for a lot of things going forward in this season.
Chris, when you go in a hostile environment like that, what kind of fuels you and kind of pushes you through some of those moments?
Well, first is about taking it in. I'm going to go to Bar Bills, grab some wings. You know, you gotta accept the culture a little bit, understand the culture, and you know, the fans there are very, very in tune. They're very similar to Kansas City fans, but it's no place like Arrowhead, but very similar into the aspects of how in tune they is with the football team, as in cracking tables, jumping on tables, doing the rock, people's champs, elbow on tables, and just the excitement they have for the Buffalo Bills. And we know it's a hostile environment. We know it's us against everybody. And, you know, for me, that's a motivational factor that I carry with me.
Directly said, you know, they don't like us. Is there a fun aspect to that, of going into something like that?
I think it's a fun but respectful aspect of, we don't like any team that comes in here. You know, sure don't like their fans, but we respect their fans to a certain extent, you know. And it's all competitive love at war, you know. When the team come here, it's not like we cheering for a team that comes here, whether it's the Raiders, the Washington, or better yet, Buffalo, the team beating us a couple times. So we don't like them either, but it's a respect level that we also have with it because of the game.
Chris, you guys have been really good on fourth down defense this year. Is that an attitude, approach? What do you owe that to?
I think it's a lot goes into that. I think the attitude, especially being aware that these teams are going for it more on fourth down, being prepared for it, being proactive throughout the week to just don't run off the field on third down, because if it's fourth and short, most likely these teams are going for it. It's a high chance. So we got a lot of good coaches who prepare us for these type of moments. We actually go through a situational in practice for these moments. And I think for us, it gives us the comfortability to, when fourth down approaches, we're like, it's another down for us. Let's go.
Last one, Chris, last week during the press conference, you said that you grew up a hooper, and that you're all Stephen Curry now. Do you think he's the greatest point guard of all time?
Well, that's a biased statement because, well, you could take it as this, okay? I didn't grow up in the Magic Johnson era, but when you talk about greatest point guard of all time, Magic Johnson is one of the point guards who could play all positions, right? From center to point guard. I don't think that would be done again. But then you go as the greatest shooter and scorer as a point guard, I think without a doubt it's Stephen Curry. It's more so as a personal preference how you view it. Another argument is like Jordan and Kobe. If Kobe did everything Jordan did, how is he not like the second greatest player of all time? To me, Kobe is number one. Y'all take care.
What song was that, Chris?
Was that it? Oh, darn it. That it? From Chris Jones. Sometimes the banter there at the end is pretty good. I mean, I like a lot about Chris Jones, except for his opinion on, basketball players, but that's fine. That last part, I would say, and see if you agree with this, Sterling, if it's greatest scoring point guard of all time, I think Steph's the greatest shooter, but, I mean, Iverson is just a scoring point guard. Is tough to beat.
But Iverson's kind of, I always think of him almost as a two. He was kind of a combo guard. He played a lot of shooting guard, two guard, because you had Eric Snow on that team who was the traditional point guard. So AI is always tough because he waffled back and forth between the one and two. Because again, when Eric Snow was there, he was the two.
You know who Eric Snow's related to? The rapper Snow with Informer. No, it's Percy Snow from Michigan State and the Chiefs. That's right.
Informer.
So dibbinis nobody got blam. I lick you boom boom down. Yep. That's what Eric Snow would always do when he scored. He would look around and like, I lick you boom boom down. I'm like, there's the Eric Snow. It's celebration for Eric Snow.
Those teams were fun. Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
Dikembe Mutombo.
You dummy pants look up me bottom, Informer. Yep. Should we take a break?
George Lynch, I think.
Yeah, he was on that team. Very good team. Very good team. Yeah. Because then you start to get into the debate of combo guard, 1, 2, true point guard.
It's like James Harden. What's James Harden?
Yeah, a true center. Everybody knows this. It's what he is. No, Steph's the greatest shooter that ever lived. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But he's right about Magic. It's like point guard, but also can he guard the 5? Can he play the center if need be? He was an amazing player. I disagree with a lot of people when I say that I think there are some awesome basketball players that have lived. Like people that say that most of these basketball players are terrible, I disagree. I think Magic was awesome. I think Kobe was really good. I think Jordan is one of the best players that has ever lived. I just disagree with so many people and their opinions that they weren't good players. So that's just my opinion, and I'm willing to stand on that. I stand on business, Sterling. Warzone next. You know, with Heartland Men's Health, your business is their business. If you are a man that is suffering from erectile dysfunction, whether it's happened once, twice, or many times, there is no reason to sit around and wait and hope that it gets better. It is a condition that can be caused by multiple things, and also a condition that then in turn can cause depression and arguments. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We've talked about Trey Savage last night, who was a savage, they would say, with the phenomenal outing he had in Game 5. 3-2 lead right now for the Blue Jays. Game 6 tomorrow night in Toronto. It'll be Gossman versus Yamamoto, so a fun matchup there. We talked about that in the first hour. Also, Jim Nantz doing his job at being wrong in doing his job in promoting the Bills and Chiefs game, saying that Patrick Mahomes needs Josh Allen, and Josh Allen needs Patrick Mahomes, just as Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus needed each other, and Magic and Bird needed each other. He never mentioned Michael Jordan needing somebody, because he didn't. And he mentioned Brady and Manning needing each other. I don't think Patrick Mahomes needs Josh Allen. We talked about that. That's on the podcast if you want to go back and listen. Sterling and I got into that conversation, and maybe there's an actual rival to Patrick Mahomes, and it's not really Josh Allen. It's more likely at this point Jalen Hurts. It's Jalen Hurts, quite frankly. It's a guy that's 1-1 in the postseason against him, 2-1 in the regular season against him, has played phenomenal football in every one of those matchups, certainly in the 2 Super Bowls. Jalen Hurts has been great outside of a fumble. He didn't have to be great this past year in February. But, Josh Allen has been good against the Chiefs, but he also has yet to win a game against the Chiefs. 2 divisional round losses, 2 AFC championship losses, one of those divisional round losses at home. They've been close games, but those close games are where a great Hall of Fame legendary quarterback would make plays to help you win. Mm-hmm. And it seems that one particular guy is doing that, who raises his game to an extreme level when he plays against the Bills in the postseason, and that is Patrick Mahomes. We talked about that. We'll get into the running back carries and things like that as it continues to progress. Matt Nagy talking about that. But we talked about Matt Nagy, and before, we were talking about it with Steve Spagnuolo before Matt Nagy got up to the podium, because we were talking about fourth down. So everybody's going forward on fourth down, and the Chiefs are doing it as well. And the reason the Chiefs should do it more is that they have 2 advantages, the Chiefs do, than what other teams, I think, may be lacking in one or the other or both. And those 2 advantages that the Chiefs have, one, they've got Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's a huge advantage because Mahomes can use his legs. Obviously, the Bills have Josh Allen, right? So it's not like this is a matchup of teams that have an advantage and don't in going for fourth down. There's a reason the Bills do that. So you've got Patrick Mahomes that just finds ways to make plays on fourth down, gets it done. That 4th and goal from the 3, he's rolling out, buying time. Could he have run it? Maybe. But Kareem Hunt springs open because one of the guys that might have been guarding Kareem Hunt stops guarding him because Mahomes is rolling. Okay, so that's one of them. The other one is Andy Reid has leaned into understanding that Kareem Hunt is gifted at finding those short yardage situation holes, gaps, and coming through with the percentage that he's better than the tush push. He's got a higher percentage than the tush push so far. 11 of 13 for the tush push, 14 of 16, or whatever it is for Kareem Hunt. Either way, short yardage situation. They're 14 of 16, I think, on the season.
Yeah, I don't know what he is.
But him specifically, he has a higher percentage than the tush push, and they have those advantages. Like the Eagles have the advantage with the tush push on 4th and 1. Okay, they've got an advantage there. The Bills have an advantage in Josh Allen is a big dude that also quarterback sneaks. But the Chiefs have stopped both of those. I mean, they stopped the tush push twice in Kansas City with the Eagles. They stopped Josh Allen multiple times last year in the AFC Championship game.
A lot.
On the Allen push.
Because he kept going left every single time, and eventually the Chiefs were like, okay, we'll just stack that side.
He's NASCAR. All he's doing is going left. It's what he does every single time. So the Chiefs going for it on fourth down, they have those advantages. Hand it to Kareem Hunt. He's been really good at being able to find that and slither through and pick up the first down, even second and third effort sometimes.
Yeah.
Hitting the backfield, one of those fourth down conversions, hitting the backfield, spins away, takes another hit, falls forward, gets the first down, and Patrick Mahomes. So they have advantages that other teams don't have, both of those guys. And the Bills have an advantage most of the time when they go up against teams, and Josh Allen does that. They don't have the advantage at quarterback finding ways to pick up fourth downs because Mahomes is a dude that does that as well. They just have an advantage in quarterback sneaks if they want to run it. Maybe not against the Chiefs, though.
I think what also helped with Kareem Hunt in these short yardage runs that I think the Chiefs struggled on for a couple of years Well, with the offensive line, they can go left or right. That's
a good point.
So you're not predictable.
Yeah, hopefully Trey Smith is playing this week. He was limited yesterday, but
I would agree with that. I
Yeah.
think that makes a difference. But Caliendo's done a fine job in his replacement so far,
Yeah.
especially in the run game. So I do think that's something to at least monitor. I know it's easy to say, and I do think there's something because obviously I don't think Pacheco is doing what Kareem Hunt has done.
No.
I think we can both agree with that statement.
He doesn't have the vision and the feel for how the line is blocking and where the holes are going to open up.
But you have to have at least the ability to create a hole.
Yeah.
And then the run back has to find it, but you have to create a hole. And this offensive line does that. I've been very impressed with Kingsley Suamataia. Creed Humphrey's been the best center in football, and I feel like he's even playing at another level up this season. He's not even getting talked about enough. I think Creed Humphrey deserves more credit. Again, when you're a center, felt like Jason Kelsey was the only guy who could be the superstar in that role. I think Creed needs to get that sort of superstar mentality, or at least love around the NFL, because he is, in my opinion, far and away the best at his position. So you have that, and you have either left or right. Jalen Moore's done a really good job. We knew that coming from San Francisco. Juwan Taylor's been serviceable in the run game. He's been really good in pass pro, especially now that the penalties have stopped. I mean, you're looking at one of the best offensive lines in football right now, even with some guys going in and out, which is, again, a credit to Veach for the depth. But also, again, I go back, Andy Heck, I said he, in my opinion, should have been on the hot seat, and he has answered every single question.
Well, and I think this weekend specifically, if you're looking at Kareem Hunt and what they can attack against the Bills, I mean, we'll see what Daquan Jones does today or tomorrow if he practices, but he's missed the last couple of games and and the bye week mixed in there. So it's not just like he's missed a couple of games or missed the bye week. No, he missed a game, bye week, missed a game. And we know Ed Oliver is out. So that's the middle of their defensive line. That's a big part of whether or not you could stop Kareem Hunt. But you bring up a great point because last year we were always wondering, like, why don't they run behind Trey Smith? Like, just run behind Trey Smith. But then if you run right, you're also running to a side of a guy who's not a good run blocker in Juwan Taylor.
Yeah.
He's okay, right? I mean, he's not just, like, brutal, but he's a better pass blocker than he is run blocker. Well, this year with Josh Simmons out, like, there's the pro and the con. Josh Simmons is a much better pass blocker than Jalen Moore. But Jalen Moore's a better run blocker. And Kingsley Suamataia is a really good run blocker. Creed Humphrey is just a good center overall. So we're seeing them. They ran left last year when it was Wanya and Joe Tooney. And Joe Tooney, a much better pass blocker than run blocker.
Yeah.
And then it was Joe Tooney and Caliendo on the left side. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you running left?
Yeah.
Now you run left, and you've got Jalen Moore, Kingsley Suamataia, and Creed Humphrey. And they ran left on that fourth down when the hole was massive against the Commanders. I mean, it bursted wide open. And it's like, well, the Commanders are missing some defensive linemen. Yes, so are the Bills. But also missing some defensive linemen, you've got run blockers that are paving openings, which goes to something that we've talked about for a couple of years. Soren's brought this up a number of times, that the RPO game doesn't limit the explosiveness of the run game when you actually hand off, because the offensive lineman can't get to the next level and can't just fire out and let me go block this guy and move him. Whereas 4th and 1, we're coming right through this gap. You fire off and win that matchup, beat that guy in that matchup, dominate him, push him 4 or 5 yards down the field like the Lions do, and you open up a huge hole, and it's like, well, yeah, they're going to pick up the first down. That's easy. Just hand the ball off to Kareem Hunt. He didn't have to pick and choose. It was a huge lane to run through, and this week should not, in theory, be different than what it was last week against the Commanders because of the lack of healthy players on that defensive line, especially that interior defensive line. Deion Walker's a guy that I wanted the Chiefs to draft, so it'll be a healthy dose of Deion Walker this week, but he's also a rookie. So, how much can you take advantage of a rookie that's in there that's going to have to play a whole lot more, that's playing more snaps because Daquan Jones has been missing? We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, continue More Zone next. So Chris Jones walked in with his phone playing a song, and he was, singing along with it. It was Fate of Ophelia from Life of a Showgirl, Taylor Swift. So This organization and team 2 years ago, Chicago Bears was 2023, right? So 2023 when they played the Chicago Bears at home and Taylor Swift's first game, this team went from being told you do not play Taylor Swift songs at practice because they played a couple after the whole Taylor Swift thing started, and it was like, nope, don't do it, stop it. Like Kelsey and like Mahomes, they were like, no, stop it, do not play those. All right, we're not doing this.
There was some bad blood, it felt like.
Yeah, and yeah, they used to have mad love between the song choices and them. So then they were trying to fill that blank space with Taylor Swift. Anyway, it went from that to now. Chris Jones is walking into a Taylor Swift song to his press conference in Fate of Ophelia in the Life of a Showgirl album that just dropped, month ago, whenever it was that came out. What a difference a couple years make. Don't play that, all right? We're not talking about it, all right? People just, it's a girl he's dating. Let's chill, all right? Let's play football. Let's be men about this whole thing, all right? Let's play the regular music we played. We never played Taylor Swift before, so playing Taylor Swift now means it's simply and strictly about Travis Kelce and that whole thing. Enough, okay? He's dealing with it all. It's all, a lot right now. Let it go. Now everybody's playing Taylor Swift, just walking around. Swifties there in the locker room at Arrowhead, and Chris Jones walking in, playing it on his phone. So we did not get a sleepy Chris Jones today. That's a happy Chris Jones.
It's a happy Chris Jones.
Because Mike Pennell is back.
I'm a happy Sterling. I went and saw A Day to Remember and Yellow Card last night.
Oh, yeah?
Very different from Taylor Swift.
Did they get a red card?
No, Yellow Card, Ocean
If you see
Avenue,
Yellow Card twice, is that a red card?
kicked ass. I will say, if there's ever fire on stage at a concert,
Yeah.
I'm all the way in, dude.
Fire.
Yeah, I'm basically just Beavis.
Yeah.
I'm just there. Anytime there's flames,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get excited. When that comes out and there's like confetti flying, you've swayed me.
Yeah.
I will have fun.
Michael, you're on the pyro team at Arrowhead. You agree with the flames and fire on stage?
I love fire.
Yeah.
Dude, it's human nature. There's just something about fire. It's a primal instinct
Is that right?
of you see fire go, that's badass. That's badass.
Depends on what the fire is. I don't know that.
Well, not like my house.
I know, but I'm just saying.
But
yes.
like if a controlled environment.
Michael, did you join the pyro team because you love fire, or it just happened to be a connection?
It was just a byproduct.
Okay, there you go. You find fire. You ever
Creative.
thought about fighting
I could
fire?
do it, unlike Sterling.
You ever thought about fighting fire? Because you're like, no, I want to cultivate it.
You fight it
man.
with fire.
Oh, that's what you do.
You're into sports, but nothing wrong with a little leisure time. Why not both?
You're going to have a heart attack by the time you're 40 if you don't learn to relax.
It's time for sports or leisure on The Zone with Jason Anderson.
All right, let's play a little sports or leisure. 913-381-810 is the phone number. It's Thursday. It's 1 o'clock hour. 6:45 tonight. We got some NFL Westwood One pregame. 7:20, Ravens, Dolphins.
Lamar's back.
The return of Lamar. Return of Lamar.
I should do that again.
Return of Lamar.
Return of Lamar. That was a good one for Rice. I need to start doing that for any time.
Rice.
I could do Pinnell.
Yeah. Return of the Mike. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mike.
I need to do this more. I need more songs.
Yeah.
There's some stuff I could do, like for Juju Smith-Schuster, for Man Beater. He's not a man beater.
He's a zone beater. He is a zone beater. That is true, man.
Right? There's some things we could do here.
Yeah. He's not.
I have the thoughts. It's the
yeah.
execution.
I've got these thoughts, man. I got these things. It's like I've thought about this like helmet sticker type thing. That'd be cool. Anyway, it's time for a little sports or leisure. 913-381-810. Load them up. First in, first on this Thursday. $25 to Johnny's Tavern. We give away if you get a sports question and a leisure question right. If you get either of them wrong, you are out. But the question is still in because we give out the right answer when it has been answered correctly, or we have simply run out of time to play.
And we still like you.
Yes. Hopefully you still like us. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's sort of a relationship, a give and take type thing. But it's Johnny's Tavern, premier sports bar in Kansas City, 10 area locations, including Lawrence and Topeka. Lawrence area, Johnny's hosting the Lance Leipold Coaches Show. And those locations with the percentage off whatever the Chiefs score on a Monday after a Chiefs game. Dine in, specialty large pizzas only. You've had 5 straight weeks of at least 28 points, or at least 28% off for 5 straight weeks.
Man.
Let's see if that can continue this weekend. I think it will continue, and it'll be 6 straight weeks of at least 28% off, and in the 30s of 30% off. We'll find out with the Chiefs and Bills this weekend. 913-381-810. Let's get into the categories today for a little sports or leisure. We have Royals 2015 World Series. Specific questions around those 5 games that were played in the 2015 World Series, 10-year anniversary of the World Series for the Royals. And we have a few general NFL questions available today. So Royals World Series and a few NFL questions today. What about on the leisure side, Sterling?
It was popular last week, so I went and made some more. Name that movie.
Name the movie.
So I will give you a quote from a movie, and you tell me said movie. Dibs on one of those. Potpourri. We'll have potpourri. We'll have name that movie.
Dropped off a little rice for us.
A little Rishi.
Little Rishi for us, you know what I mean?
And I am starving because I left all my lunch at home, and I've been going around scavenging this entire office asking people, do you have a snack? Do you have a snack?
Were you really doing that?
Yeah. Where do you think I found those sun chips from?
I've got some Jack Links downstairs.
Well, I was hungry.
Okay.
I got stuff.
Well,
I forgot lunch. I have lunch at home. I made pasta, and I have
But you
soup.
didn't ask. But you
I didn't
didn't
bring
ask,
it.
But you didn't ask me for a little snack.
Yeah, so I've just been I'm doing the Dylan Michaels method in honor of him, just drinking coffee instead.
There you go. That's a.
So we have riddles. Name that movie. Potpourri.
Okay. There you go. 913-381-810. I am ready to play. Sterling, you good to go?
I am thrilled.
Michael?
Let's do it.
All right. It's been an interesting day so far for you. You've been juggling a lot of things back there. Drake's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that things run as smoothly as possible. And here we go. Let's see if this can be smooth. We'll find out. 913-381-810. Leading us off is John on a Thursday with Sports or Leisure. John, what side would you like to start with, sir? The sports side or the leisure side?
We'll do the sports side, and I'd love a Royals question, Denny.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's find out which one I want to go with here. All right, just name 2 of the 3 relievers for the Royals who got a win in that series.
2 of the 3.
3 of the 4 wins for the Royals. The win went to a reliever in the bullpen. Name 2.
Let's see. Hochaver would be 1.
That's right.
Ding,
Okay,
ding.
Ding, ding.
Hochaver.
Ding, ding.
And then who won the extra inning game? Game 1. Oh, shoot.
That's a great question because that would certainly be one of them.
Chris Young. Chris Young.
Well done. Chris Young. That's right. Ding, ding. Chris Young. Chris Young, game 1.
John, you got to go to the leisure side.
Hochaver, game 5. Anybody want to throw a dart as to who the other reliever was that earned a win?
That's Jason
in that
Frazier.
one? It was not. That was more 14.
That in 14,
Yep.
yeah.
This was a guy who they found in as a non-roster invitee to spring training and was trying to rejuvenate his career.
Oh, yeah, Ryan Madsen.
Ryan Madsen, game 4, was your winner of game 4, Ryan Madsen. So Chris Young, Ryan Madsen, and Luke Hochaver, along with Edinson Volquez, Johnny Cueto, having the win as a
Johnny
starter.
Baseball.
Johnny Baseball. Those are the 4 players that got the wins. Over to Sterling with leisure.
John Potpourri, name that movie, or riddles.
We'll do Name That Movie for 100.
Name that movie for 100. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Oh, my God, really?
Oh, Christmas Story.
Just like,
Christmas story. Yeah.
We're just handing out wins now.
No, he said
Sons of bitches!
He said 100.
Oh, that's a good point. Yep.
He asked for the 100. So now the 100's gone. He asked for it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of different lines in that movie that wouldn't be the dead giveaway that it was that movie. I don't know what it would be.
Double Dog Dare Ya?
Yeah, double dog trip. No, you skipped double dog. Triple dog dare you. Yep.
triple
Hey,
dog.
smart ass. I talked to my dad the other day. He said, tongue will get stuck to it. Smart ass. Then the dogs come through there. Sons of bitches. All right, that's a winner, John, right?
That is a winner.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll put you on hold, get your information. Congratulations, sir. Well done. 913-3-810-810. See, it's just that easy. If you name the movie, Sterling will just ask you what your favorite movie is. And then
No.
I'll be back. Oh, wow. I don't know. Any of them. Every of the I'll
Fast
be
and
backs. That's right. You got it right.
Yeah,
Nice
I figured,
job. Well done, man. But which one? Every one of them. Every one of them. They say, I'll be back with that one. Let's go to Charles next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Charles, sports or leisure? What side would you like to start with, sir?
Let's do sports, and we'll do the general NFL.
All right. So Jonathan Taylor picked up his 9th career rushing game. Oh, excuse me. 9th career rushing touchdown of at least 45 yards. Taylor's just 26 years old. His 9 touchdowns are tied with 2 others for the most ever before turning 27. I don't name either one of them. One is still playing.
Yeah.
One had a couple 3 awesome years and isn't playing anymore. But one is still playing. Has a lot of long runs.
Yep.
Yeah. Not one against the Chiefs, though. Do we remember one against the...
Not really, no.
I don't remember one against the Chiefs.
You said 45 yards or more, and they're before 27?
Yeah, so 26 years or younger. By the way, Jonathan Taylor, still not 27. Doesn't he seem like he's like 29 or 30?
No,
It does to me.
Same as Clyde.
I know. He's same draft class as Clyde, but he seems like he's like 29, 30 years old. Like I would have guessed like he's an older running back. No, just still 26 years old. So much tread on his tire, though. That's been worn off. You know what I mean?
Good tires, though.
Great tires. Oh, my God, great tires. You paid a lot for those tires. You know what I mean? The warranty on those tires, much greater than some of the others. I'm going to throw a dart as to either one of those players. I believe, if I am not mistaken... Let's see. Yeah, they...
Deshaun Jackson?
Both of those guys had rushing yard totals in a single season that is sort of the Mount Rushmore of getting this particular number.
Yep.
I can't just say like the number, right?
Yeah,
Because
you
then
can't.
that
Then
would
it's
give it
gives
away, right?
Give it away, give it away, give it away.
Yeah,
now.
I know. Like one guy's named after that particular
Yeah, seriously.
number. So
both,
yeah.
I think, play for the same team, correct?
Hey, that's a good hint. Yeah,
Yeah.
both play for the same team. Both did it for the same team.
There you go.
Wow, great call. All right, that's the last hint. You say. You say.
It wouldn't be Priest Holmes, would it?
It would not be Priest Holmes. Charles, thank you for playing, man. I appreciate you, brother. 913-381-810. Next up is T-Box. T-Box, what is up, brother? What side do you want to start with?
Do you have any of those KISS questions left, Sterling?
We
Ooh,
do
can you go back into the archive?
I knew you.
I deleted them because no one did them, and so I stopped.
Deleted them?
Oh, man.
Wow.
I could give you one. I could give you one right now.
And gone, Kish.
Bring it.
Okay, off the top of my head, name another drummer for KISS not named Peter Criss.
Eric Carr and Eric, I can't remember. Eric Singer.
Eric
That's
Singer. Yeah, it was both Erics. For some reason, if you weren't Peter Criss, you had to be named Eric.
The irony of
Eric Carr
Singer,
and Eric Singer.
Eric Singer being a drummer.
Yeah, but I think he had to learn how to sing, I
And Eric
assume,
Carr
for
flying
the song
everywhere.
Beth.
Yeah.
So,
The irony
yeah.
there. All right,
Yeah,
nice job.
congratulations.
Well done over the sports side, T-Box. What you thinking, Royals or general NFL?
Well, I was thinking that 9 touchdowns, God, you said they're both with the same.
Both with the same
They were
team.
both for the same team?
Both with the same
Correct.
team. One of the nicknames is about the certain yardage numbers that you would get if a running back that they're
2,000 man.
Yeah, there you go. That's the yardage number. So both of them reached this number. Both of them for the same team.
Oh, for the same team, so it didn't have to be. They don't have to be on the same team now.
No,
Correct.
Nope. They both
like-
did it. Neither all
seems
on this
like-
team.
Yeah, it seems like a Chris Johnson, Derrick Henry.
Both of those. That is correct. CJ2K and Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor are the ones that have done that now with the 45 yards or more rushing touchdowns.
I'm glad. So I don't have the questions or the answers in front of me.
Yeah, right,
So I'm
right.
glad I was like, yeah, they play for the same team. I'm like, I really hope it's Chris Johnson and Derrick Henry, or I just gave this guy a horrible hint.
Yeah, no. If it wasn't that, I would have said no. But it was a great hint. Great hint. Both. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. Right. That both of them with the Tennessee Titans there. So, well done, T-Box. I believe we put you on hold now and get your information. Congratulations, brother. That was quick. That was easy.
Thank you. We love some Lebo.
We do love some Lebo.
I hung up on the judge. I hit the wrong button. T-Box.
Dude.
Give Michael a call. Michael, do you have T-Box's info? You probably
yet.
do. Oh, not from ever before?
I could probably find it.
I bet you could. round
T-Box,
it up
you
somewhere.
won. Jason did the bad thing.
Yeah, I pressed
Call back.
pressed the wrong button. You love Lebo so much? Why don't you call Lebo then? Huh?
It's kind of rude of you.
Yeah. Why don't you take Lebo to Johnny's then next time, huh? All right, let's go to Avery. There you go. I pressed the right button that time. Avery, sports or leisure, what side do you want to start with?
I'll do movies.
All right.
For 2,000.
It's not a man purse. It's called a satchel. Indiana Jones wears one.
The Hangover.
That is the Hangover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep.
I love that.
All right. Let's go to...
Good job, Avery.
Yeah. Let's go to sports, Royals 2015 World Series or NFL.
I'll do the World Series.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go with the World Series here, dude. Let's see what you got. All right. Can you tell me who is the only player to bat 1,000 for the series?
So minimum 1 at bat.
Yes.
Christian Cologne.
Yes.
Nice.
1 for 1. He was 1 for 1. He's the only one that batted. Nobody else batted 1,000 though. How is he not the MVP? How's he not the MVP?
Number 4 pick. Worth it.
Yes.
What's Mike Trout done?
Avery, I said it when they were both drafted. I said, Hochaver, that's going to be a World Series winning pitcher. He's going to be a winner of a World Series team that clinches. And Christian Cologne might have the biggest hit in a game-clinching World Series. And guess what? I was right about both. Okay? Nailed that. I believe that's a winner, too.
That is a winner.
Wow, we are just handing these things out. This is Oprah at the end of the show. Like, look under your seat. There's $25 to Johnny's Tavern. Avery, we'll put you on hold. I'll try to press the right button this time and get your information. Thank you, sir.
I love Lebo.
Yes, we do.
We do love
I pressed the
Lebo.
right button that time. Sorry. To T-Box, but when there's an open phone line, give us a call back. We take a timeout right now, 913-381-810, playing some sports or leisure, $25 at Johnny's Tavern. We're playing for more Zone coming up next.
You're in the zone with Jason Anderson on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Hey Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect, our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. Today I'm here to tell you about an exciting offer for the remainder of the month. While supplies last, Victory is offering 3 ways to save on all remaining 2025 Ram half-tons, the winner of the coveted Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Here's how it works. You get to pick from 3 great offers like $5,000 off and 0% for 72 months on all remaining 2025 Ram 1500s, or $11,000 off and 3.9% for 72 months, or an astonishing $16,000 off with standard financing. Folks, it's no secret, it's been the same for years. The best time to buy a new pickup truck is during the model year-end closeout. Business owners, come see us today and ask about additional year-end savings from Ram exclusively for you. Supplies are dwindling fast, so hurry in and take advantage of this offer. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 430.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you. Sterling Holmes. Michael Darcy. 913-3810810, playing some sports or leisure. Johnny's Tavern. $25 we give away to Johnny's Tavern. If you get a sports question and a leisure question right, you will win. Either of them wrong, you'll get 17 hints. And if you eventually run out of time and hints and can't get it right, then we will move on. But the question is out there available for someone to call in and request if they know the answer to it. Resetting the categories, Royals 2015 World Series, specifically those 5 games against the Mets. And we have 2 other general NFL questions for this week. What about on the leisure side, Sterling?
We have potpourri.
Yeah.
Potpourri. We have Name That Movie, which is very popular. And then we have riddles.
Potpourri. All right. 913-381. Sorry.
Popular.
I liked it. I'm sorry. Let's go to Chuck next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Chuck, sports or leisure, what side would you like to start with?
Let's start with leisure, please.
What side or what category?
I'm always a sucker for a good riddle.
Oh,
I love
yes.
it. Thank you, Chuck.
I've been waiting for this one.
That specific one that you're about to give him.
This riddle, I've been waiting because no one's picked riddles in a hot minute. I will give you hints if you need it. But this one's fun. Stupid, but fun. Why is Europe shaped like a frying pan?
Because it has grease and turkey in it?
Oh, you know what?
Yes.
I love it. Yes.
Yes, because it has grease at the bottom.
Grease at the bottom. Yeah. Okay.
But yes, grease
I like
and
it.
turkey. That's
Grease and
perfect.
Turkey. That's great.
And
That's awesome.
now I'm hungry.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's
Yes, I am
good.
so glad, Chuck. You are my hero. I've been wanting to say that dumbass riddle for like 2 months, and no one's done riddles.
Really? It's been 2 months since somebody chose a riddle?
Pretty close.
Okay.
That one's so dumb, and I love
think
it.
last time I called it riddles, too. So
Yeah,
I'm
thank
a riddle
you.
fan.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Chuck,
Well done.
It just made me
Yeah.
feel good.
All right. Over to the sports side, Royals 2015 World Series, and a couple of NFL questions remaining.
I'm a baseball man. Let's go Royals.
All right. I love it. Okay, so name any of the 3 players for the Royals who in those 5 games, and they're all starters, so it's not a Christian Cologne question, but name any of the 3 Royals in those 5 games that had a higher OPS in the World Series than they did in the regular season. And by the way, only 3 Royals in the 5 games had a higher OPS in 5 games than they did over the course of the season. But name any of those 3 Royals to do that in the 5 games.
Wow. So your OPS just in those 5 games, not the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, just those 5 games. Like, for instance, one player OPS'd at 706 in the regular season and 846 in those 5 games. That's just one player.
Okay,
But there
we're
are 2
we're
of
not
them.
looking at like tricky stuff like a pitcher hitting.
Nope. They're all 3 position player starters.
I think I know that one that you just gave, the 706 one.
706 to
I think
846.
that one kind of stood out to me.
One was 614 and 692.
Yeah.
And another one was 809 to 836.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure Salvi was one because he was MVP.
We only need one. Is that
Let's go Salvador Perez.
Salvi-
I only need one. I thought it was all 3.
Yeah, no, I mean, you only needed one, but let's have fun. Let's see if we can get him. Salvi's definitely one. That was the 706 to 846.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Gordo. He hit that big home run. He played pretty well in that series, I recall. So let's go with Alex Gordon.
Gordon, 809 to 836.
Yep, and
so
then the
yes.
last one,
And
though.
the last one is fun. Again, 614 OPS to 692 OPS in the World Series.
614 for a starter. That's got to be one of 2 guys.
Yep.
Let's go with Escobar.
Yeah!
Inside the Park Homer.
Alcides nuts. Nice job. Well done. Escobar, 614 regular season, 6. Like I said, name all 3 players to do that.
What a
Chuck.
day for Chuck. This
Look
was
at that,
a
man.
hell of a performance.
Got a riddle. Got all 3 of those Royals.
Hell of a
He said he's a
performance.
baseball guy, so he wants the Royals question, and he got them all 3, so well done. I was making it easy as just name one of them. I thought the easy one would be, well, Salvi was MVP of the series. It's going to be Salvi, which was the first one, but nice job, Gordo and Alcides. Well done. We'll put you on hold and get your information. Congratulations, Chuck.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
ZOU.
The bye this week, huh? Yeah.
It's tough.
Get healthy for that A&M
I
game.
guarantee they have more yards in the bye, but I still don't know if they're going to win. They'll control the game, but they might still falter down the stretch.
Maybe. We'll see. The Raiders.
Dumb penalties. This is somehow a tripping
Did
penalty.
Did the Raiders lose this past weekend on the bye?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Sad fans thought the Raiders were going to lose in the bye week. That Pete Carroll wasn't going to have them ready. He won't have them ready to play in the bye. Sad fans. By the way, it happens every single week when the Chiefs play a team that they haven't played in a while. This one was just a little surprising, though. The amount of Commanders fans complaining about the official screwing them in the game and how now I know what everybody's talking about. Now I see that, we have to beat the refs, too, when you go to Arrowhead. It doesn't matter. It's any call that they disagree with. It's going to be
in that game? Yeah. In the Chiefs-Commanders game, people complained?
Tons.
The team that had 3 times as many penalties as the other team?
The team that didn't
9-3?
The team that didn't commit a penalty in the first half was complaining about the officiating.
Huh.
So, yeah, it does not matter what happens in the game. It doesn't matter what happens in the game.
That is perplexing.
No, it doesn't matter.
Incredible.
Every single time they play a team that they don't play often or haven't played for a while, it's the same thing. Well, now I see what everybody's talking about. They can't hide it now. I was always a guy that didn't really agree with but now that it's my team, I could see what people are talking about.
If that's the game you went to and thought about, wow, then you have you don't know how life works. How do you tie your shoes?
Week. It's not good for my mental health, I'll be honest with you.
That's kind of more of a you thing.
Because you know me, it's hard for me not to be like, all right, you're an idiot, and sort of respond to those things, and I clearly can't respond.
Yeah, I just think,
so,
what a dumbass.
What a dummy.
And then I just move on.
Yeah. All right, Ryan next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Ryan, sports or leisure, what side would you like to start with?
Let's go leisure.
All right, we have Name That Movie, we have riddles, and we have potpourri.
Name that movie.
All right, name that movie. Surely you can't be serious. I am. And don't call me Shirley.
The Naked Gun.
Try it. Do you want to give him another? Do you want to give him another hint?
It is not Naked Gun.
Oh, Airplane.
Airplane. There we go.
You know what? Are you good with it, Sterling?
I'm good with it. I'll allow it.
Hey, will you text Michael? Will you text Mick, see if he's good with it?
Yeah,
it's a half ding, but yes.
It's a half ding. Yeah, that's true.
I jumped the gun.
That's
you
fine.
jumped the Naked Gun.
That's right. All right, let's go to the sports then. Since you know what, Mick approves. Mick says totally fine. I haven't got the text yet, but I'll probably get a text here.
I love saying that. Don't call me Shirley. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Call me Shirley. We've got Royals 2015 World Series, and we have a couple NFL questions.
Let's do World Series.
All right. So this is one I've been wanting to ask for a while now. Anytime we've talked about just the Royals World Series overall, and now specifically with this one, let's have some fun. After the ball was released from the pitcher, name every player involved in Hosmer's mad dash. Who hit the ball? Who fielded the ball? Who threw the ball? Who scored? I mean, one of them is easy because it's called his mad dash. But after the ball was released, name the individuals involved in Hosmer's mad dash.
We got Wright that fielded it.
Nice job.
Obviously Hosmer.
Yes.
Was it Duda that threw it?
Duda threw
Correct.
it.
Royals legend.
It was a duty throw by Duda. And the last one is who hit it. And this is one we've asked so many times that I'm like, we can't ask that again. I know we've asked that before, so what if we did this? Who put the ball in play? Fielded by David Wright.
Guy who wasn't super fast.
Yeah. No, he was not. Well, not he.
Even then.
Yeah. Wright could have taken even longer to look Hosmer back to third. He could have even pump faked to first to see if Hosmer was going to take off and run. Shockingly, he rolled over an outside pitch to the left side. It's very surprising.
Was it Salvi?
Salvi, well done. Salvi hit the ball. David Wright fielded it. Lucas Duda threw home. Hosmer scored. And there you go. And the rest, as they say, is history. Because it is, because that Hosmer mad dash was amazing. He was out with a good throw. But you know what it wasn't? A good throw. And you know why it wasn't a good throw? Because he forced the issue, folks. That's what speed do. That's a winner, right?
That's a winner.
There we go. Ryan will put you on hold to get your information. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. 913-381-0810 is the phone number. That is, what, we got 5 winners already?
No, 5 already?
Yeah, I think we got 5 already.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't have let him have
airplane.
Yeah, since he said naked gun. Well, our largesse knows no bounds.
Is that right?
We're
If you
kind
say so.
folk.
If you say so. 913-381-0810 is the phone number. Tim next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Tim, Sports or Leisure, what side would you like to start with, sir?
The questions are the movies are as easy as the previous ones. I'll start there.
I'm guessing they are.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I got to be 20 years old at least, too. I haven't been to the theater since then.
Okay. This one's dumb. I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Oh, yeah. Meet the parents.
Meet the parents.
It's a very sad and descriptive prayer.
So visual, you don't want to. Yeah.
You got a bee on your hair. Oh, it's gone now.
I have a bee?
Yeah, you got a bee on your hair.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice little bumblebee.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's a bumblebee. It looks like a.
Well, yeah, not really
like
a
sweat
bumblebee,
bee.
but it's like a. It's not going to hurt too bad.
No, you're fine.
Not like a wasp.
No, you're fine. You're good. You're good. All right, so on to the sports side. We got Royals 2015 World Series, and we have a couple of NFL questions remaining. What are you thinking, Tim?
Gosh, I'm thinking I'd like to do the Royals, but aren't you down to like the last few questions on that, maybe? Or
I have one left.
One left. So you saved the easiest one for last.
You know what? I didn't necessarily save the last one or the toughest one for last.
Okay.
That was probably the last one, would have been the toughest one. Naming
And
4
you're
players.
down to only 2 on this general NFL.
Yeah, we have 3 questions left, so you know.
Okay, pick a number.
Didn't think we'd have 9 winners, but you know, whatever.
My gut just tells me go NFL today. I don't. My 2015 memories are ancient.
Okay. So you want to go NFL?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with this one. Joe Flacco became the 7th player over the age of 40 to score a touchdown when he had his 1-yard quarterback sneak for the Bengals. Of the other 6, only 1 is a non-quarterback. So who's the only non-quarterback to score a touchdown over the age of 40?
That's tough. No.
It's not an easy one.
And so it's presumably doesn't even have to be an offensive player then, does it?
In theory, right, this one is, but in theory it wouldn't have had to be an offensive player, but this one is an offensive player.
A non-quarterback.
Non-quarterback. Yep.
Well, Marcus didn't play that long.
No.
But over 40. Is this modern era or like 60s, 70s? Or?
No, it's modern era, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. In fact, it's since the turn of the century.
Okay. Old running back.
Mm-hmm. I think he scored 12 touchdowns over the age of 40.
Running back, I'm thinking of maybe. But that'd be unusual for a running back. It'd have to be a receiver, I would think.
There you go.
Tight end. Tony didn't play that long. Doggone it. Oh no, he was way back in the day in the 70s. It's not my old buddy Blanda.
Nope, it is not him. Nope, not your friend.
He played till he was about 50 something.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
This man played until he was 42 years old.
Modern era.
Yep. A few more seconds. Throw a dart, and then we got to go to break.
Oh, yeah.
What do you say?
Hey, those Bills.
What do you say, Tim?
Oh, receiver.
Yep.
Andre Reed. No, he didn't play that long. But I deserve to be bad.
Well, we do have a B in here, so that's helping along the way. Hey, Tim, that's appreciate you playing, man. That question is out there. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, continue playing some Sports or Leisure. If you're on hold, we'll get to you next. 913-381-0810. More Zone coming up next. I only have 3 questions left. One of them is out there, so I only have 2 fresh questions left. Usually I have a lot more questions than I did today, but the last couple of mornings been distracted, Had, the boss man, Mr. Boger's lovely dog has been here downstairs hanging out with me, Cavapoo, and it's distracting. She's so affectionate. She's always wanting to play. There have been a couple times where I'm just working on the show and she's just sitting on my lap while I'm cutting up sound and stuff.
It's
been
such
great.
a cute dog.
Dude, it's
such
amazing, man.
Such a good dog.
It's honestly, I have been, no, we're not getting a dog. No, we're not getting a dog. And after the last couple of days, my wife and I are now, don't tell my kids, by the way.
Hey, Jason's kids,
yeah,
you
stop.
might be getting a dog.
Stop. My wife and I
said
are now
might.
like, all right, well, let's look into it then. So now we're looking up like which breeders to go to for a Cavapoo, and they are quite the investment. Let's just say that. Quite the investment. But dang, I'm pretty sure that dog was brought in the last few days by my kids. I'm pretty sure they were like, hey, do us a favor. Can you bring in your dog? Just have her just be around Jason for a while, just so he'll be like, all right, okay, I get it. Okay, fine. Man. Yeah. So now we're going through that, trying to figure out who's trustworthy, which, person to use, where to go, all of that stuff. So, yeah, that's my life right now. And I'll be probably doing it after the show as well. But we do have 3 questions left, 2 that have not been answered, 1 that is out there. To the phone lines we go, and we bring in Matt next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Matt, sports or leisure, what side would you like to start with, sir?
Well, let's go with movies, please.
Movies. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Well, hopefully not. When we will be.
That was good timing for that one.
Yeah.
That was good timing. Dumb and Dumber.
That would be.
That is correct. Very well done. On to the sports side, we have 1 question in Royals fresh, 1 question in NFL fresh, and 1 question that is out there about the NFL. And Joe Flacco.
I'll try the 40-year-old question.
All right. Who is the only non-quarterback to score a touchdown over the age of 40?
I think Jerry Rice did that.
Correct. Jerry Rice played till he was 42. I think he scored like 11 or 12 touchdowns over the age of 40. The other 6 players that have done that are all quarterbacks. Joe Flacco became the 7th. Here's some fun. You want to name the quarterbacks, Sterling? Matt, you want to think of the quarterbacks that have done it over the age of 40?
Tom Brady.
That's an easy one.
Joe Flacco.
Not Manning.
Drew Brees.
Favre? Did Favre do it?
Nope. Favre
George
didn't do it.
Blanda.
Not Blanda.
Seriously?
Nope.
Huh, that's surprising.
Rodgers?
Nope.
No, so how many have I named? I've named 3 out of how many more?
There's 3 more.
3 more over the age of 40.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Oh, man. We have Breeze, obviously, but who?
Yeah.
Rivers?
So, nope. These guys bounced around. One was a former, number 1 overall pick. Another one was a Canadian player. Oh, and another Canadian, quarterback. Canadian Football League.
Doug Flutie? Doug Flutie.
And another Canadian Football League quarterback that played a game for the Chiefs.
Warren Moon.
And the other one that was former can't miss QB.
Jamarcus Russell.
Number 1 overall pick out of the University of Miami.
I don't know.
Late 80s. Vinny Testaverde. All right, over to...
oh, my gosh. Duh.
Yeah, Matt, that's a winner, right?
Yep, that's a winner.
All right, very good. We'll put you on hold. Well done, Matt. Thank you, sir. So those Vinny Testaverde, Warren Moon, Doug Flutie, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Joe Flacco, and Jerry Rice. Let's go to the phone lines, and we bring in Tom next up on Sports Radio 810. Tom, sports or leisure, what side do you want to start with?
Let's try leisure movies.
All right. The Rug really tied the room together.
Oh, God. Can we start with sports and leisure?
You don't know that one.
You don't know that one?
Oh, man.
No, I'm older. Too old. I need something old.
That is an old movie.
Rug Piers wouldn't do this.
Nihilist, dude.
If you need a toe, I can get you a toe.
Oh, golly.
Donnie, you're out of your element.
Over the line. All right.
Smokey.
Yes.
There are rules. This is not Nam.
I know all these clues that you're giving me to. You're helping, but not enough.
There's not much more I can do
there's not
without
much
literally
more, yeah.
giving you the movie.
I'm aware of that. I appreciate it.
This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
Is that right? Is that the TBS version?
That's the clean version of that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I thought this was going to be an easy one.
I thought this was the easiest one.
It is easy. I'm sure
It is a cult classic. It's easy. Cult classic.
There's no. I can't do any more else.
Yeah.
I can't.
I know.
Yep.
I trust. I believe you.
You want to throw a dart, Tom?
Yeah. You already did Dumb and Dumber, right?
Yeah, this might be my favorite movie too.
Yep. It's not a small one.
Oh.
Dude.
I don't know. Dude, where's my car?
Oh. Tom, thank you for playing, man. I appreciate it. We're up against it. Let's hurry and scurry over to Greg. Next up on Sports Radio 810. Greg, Sports or Leisure, what side do you want to start with?
Hey, how's it going?
It's
What
good.
are the categories on sports and leisure?
Sports, we got one World Series question left, one NFL question left.
Let's start with NFL.
All right, very good. Justin Jefferson surpassed 8,000 yards receiving for his career, the third most for a player in their first 6 years in the NFL. Name either of the other two players with more. The most is 8,375 by this player. Neither of them are still playing.
Let's go with. Dang it.
And one of them has something very much in common with Justin Jefferson.
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss, well done. The other one is Torrey Holt and the
Yeah.
Greatest Show on Turf. Over to Leisure with Sterling.
Name that movie, Riddles or Potpourri.
Oh, you don't have deep cuts today, darn it.
Don't
today.
have deep
Nope,
cuts.
nope.
Dumb and Dumber question gone.
We had the one that the rug really tied the room together.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
You don't know that? That's crazy.
Really
man.
surprising.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. How about Potpourri?
Potpourri. All right. What does the car company BMW stand for?
Bavarian Motor Works.
It sure enough does.
Nice job. Well done.
Bavarian Motor Works.
Greg, we'll put you on hold. Get your information.
I don't. Can I get a BMW?
That's exactly
I
right.
wish
Yes.
that was the gift for
I'll
you.
get. Well, you know what? You're $25 closer. I'll tell you that much. Thank you, Greg. Last one, Phil. We got to go quick. Sports or Leisure? What side do you want to start with?
Sports.
All right, we got one question left, and that is the Royals question. Who was the only pitcher to make 2 starts for the Royals in the World Series in 2015 against the Mets?
Volquez.
Well done. Leisure with Sterling.
We have the one movie question already out there. Another one, Potpourri or Riddles?
Riddles.
Riddles. Okay, I am easy to lift, but hard to throw. What am I?
My arm.
I kind of want to give you that. It's not the answer, but that's smart. Oh, man. I guess there could be multiple things. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
All right, that's great, man.
It's a feather was what I was looking for. A feather.
Okay.
But I guess you could be multiple. Like, I'm looking outside, it could be a leaf. Like, leaves are easy to lift, but hard to throw because when you throw it in the wind, it just gets thrown back. So basically anything light. But I like arm because that was creative, so I'll give it to you.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, man.
We will put you on hold. Congratulations. Well done, Phil. I pressed the right button there to put him on hold. And that does it. And we got every one of my questions asked and answered.
Somehow, the Big Lebowski was the one that no one got.
Yeah.
I am shocked by that. The dude abides.
Yeah. So there you go.
I can get you a toe.
Mm-hmm.
I can get you a toe with nail paint by 2. Yeah. Shocked. Big
Nice.
Lebowski.
I am the walrus. All right. Here we go. Thank you, Sterling. Well done.
We did it.
That's right.
We gave it a lot. The arm one got me on the riddle. I'm happy for them. Sometimes when I get one that's smart, I'm just a generous man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well done, Michael. I know you did a lot of juggling back there, so good job. The program up next.